on? It's RFD podcast number 11, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. We're up to 11 now.
I think so.
A lot of these. And as always, I'm Strix. Hi.
Tripwire. That's most of Rob's face.
Most of
If you're on
Is he still messed
YouTube,
up on your,
it's
on
still
your,
messed
on
up.
your-
I don't understand it. It's still like, it's like that much of Rob's
It's like
face,
that much of his face.
and then like his wall on his chair.
I don't know why though.
I don't know. I don't either. Like it's whenever
Maybe
you
it's
updated your
just
Skype
for
and came
you.
back. I know, but it's like it didn't happen until you updated your Skype or you updated your OS, right?
Yeah, I
It
went
was
to
right
Windows
after
10.
that. And yeah, but it doesn't look that way for Nigel. Just me.
yeah,
Skype
on
is
my
the
screen,
worst, dude.
everything's fine.
Yeah, it looks fine for he's mirrored, but it looks fine for Nigel. For me, for my
Yeah.
recording, it's Rob is the focal point. Fuck you.
Okay, and the amount of time it took us to start the stream, somebody already took my world at Teaks. I guess that explains what I'm doing in game. Again, I'm cutting Teaks.
I have bread.
Okay,
Professional podcast.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I've got Kool-Aid. It's not as cool as bread, I guess. So what are you doing in game right now, Chase? Agility?
Nope. Same thing I've been doing for weeks on end now. Slayer for totems.
Slayer. GZ.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Rob? Are you even playing RuneScape today?
I am bank standing currently because I didn't decide what I want to do yet.
Fletching. You should do fletching.
I have
Ultimate
90.
bank.
I already did fletching. I made 80,000 bows.
Yeah, what level are you?
90.
You're only 90? That's not 99.
I got the level I needed for the diary.
Yeah, that's what I did too. I did maple bows unstrung all the way to what I needed for diary.
Yep, same.
Recently, I looked at my bank. I was like, wow, I still have like 12 or 13,000 magic logs from Zilra. Maybe I'll make some money I need for construction. So, yeah, I haven't I don't think I've actually properly played RS most of this week.
I checked
Because of my
I checked Crystal Math Labs today. I've gained 30 million XP this past month.
I
damn.
wonder what I've gained.
I probably gained like a tenth of that. Maybe maybe more. I don't know. I haven't really been playing that much this week though. I think I've
No,
got
you've
on
been
RS
working.
like a couple of times this week. Yeah, so basically the job situation for me right now is I'm working nights because the guy who used to work nights got fired because he did something really dumb. So I'm basically working full time now. So that kind of sucks for streaming, especially since I work nights. I don't want to just pop on a stream at 7 in the morning all the time when I get off work. So
I
a
imagine
lot of
you're
times
very
I'll
tired at
sleep.
the end of your shift too.
Yes. So a lot of times I just come home and chill out and then sleep. So I haven't really got a chance to stream much, and especially with being sick this week. Something about working at a hotel or working at school, just working around lots of people, you tend to get sick a lot.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that I am sick already, first week on the job.
You're getting it out of the way.
Yep, I'm getting it out of the way early. All right, so do we want to drop into the topics?
I do.
I hope I
And
have the right things open. I'm sorry I wasn't there for
I
the
have
setup
nothing
today.
open.
Okay. I just have a couple
currently,
of recent things.
yeah. We're going over the we should cover it first. We're going over the dev blog, the update, Inferno Cape redesign thing. They slightly tweaked the design of it, and we're going to go over the Q&A questions. So all the usual stuff we're going to do.
Okay. You know the post here on the website for the Infernal Cape is no longer current. They
Oh
updated
yeah,
it
they
again.
did. Yeah, did they update it again?
Mm-hmm.
If
They
you get,
tweeted
if
out
it's like a
today.
Reddit post or something.
It was a tweet. It was a tweet.
Oh, it was a
from
tweet.
our
Okay, if you can
tweet,
get if you can get the tweet for me
yeah,
and just put it in the Skype call, that'd be perfect.
sure thing.
There's one update in particular I'm very excited to talk about.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it now or later?
We can talk about it now.
Okay.
while he's getting topics or whatever the link.
What does it say?
They're doing it finally. The biggest update, arguably, to ever come into this game. They're adding a mini map to the default client.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the dev blog. Mm-hmm.
It's only been like 4 years.
Yeah.
It was
And
engine
we're
work.
finally getting it. 4 long, hard years without it.
Oh yeah, man, these have been some
Well,
4 tough years using
we
third-party
weren't without
clients
it.
that have maps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we weren't without it because every third-party client has one,
Yeah.
which I think is why they held off for such a long time. Hey, by the way, Finn. It just doesn't seem like that important of a feature when every third-party client does it, and like over half your player base plays on third-party clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like 4 years for a mini map.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't exactly had the most steady engine team in the world.
I guess.
I mean, even Ian Gower, he was doing engine for a while to help with Resizable, and then he left the company too.
Yeah, pretty much everything he was doing had to do with the graphics engine, which Minimap wasn't a priority. So basically, they had things just ranked in terms of where they wanted it for priority, and there was just more important stuff that
Now
came in front of it.
see, my question here is why wasn't the mini map pulled?
It will be pulled.
It will be pulled.
It hasn't been pulled yet.
What I think is great is they're going to spend engine time working on the minimap, and part of me is just kind of like, please vote no. Show Jagex's community is retarded.
I
Come
think
on.
it's going to be like another Green Pixel
Show them that
situation.
they need to repeal
Yeah.
the fucking.
I'm
postal
voting no to it.
No, wait. People are going to vote no and say waste of dev time.
system.
Oh my god. You guys, I mean, obviously we're joking because lots of silly shit lately hasn't passed polls. Like, for instance, the customizable spellbook thing.
Mm-hmm.
The customizable prayers, yeah, maybe. I can see that. Customizable spellbook, it's like, they're going to revert the fucking lunar spellbook anyways. You might as well vote yes so you can retain vengeance wherever the hell you want it to be.
Yep.
People
But
can't read.
people were still like, no. Now I'm sitting here scratching my head like, we're probably just gonna vote no to every other every other like lunar spell now, right? We can't possibly pass another lunar spell because it moves vengeance again.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's how it's gonna be. That's how this community thinks. It blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. Realistically, though, this should pass. Community's asked for it for like forever.
Yeah. There's no reason
So-
that it shouldn't pass, but yeah, people are gonna vote no anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there are legitimate reasons people don't want customizable spells and customizable prayers, which is it makes PvP slightly easier, is the reason. And people don't want that for whatever reason, a significant amount. And I think some people just didn't understand the question properly, but, you know, there is a legitimate argument for you don't want it.
Yes and no. Because like I get that it does make PvP easier, but it's not on the same level as like rigor. Like, because like with the prayer scrolls, one person can have it and the other person can't. Right.
Yeah.
Like you have that possibility. Whereas a movable spell book, it's movable for everybody. So they might get the advantage, the people you're fighting against, but you also have that advantage yourself. You can take advantage of it. So I feel like it would stay pretty even.
You make a good point. Most of Rob's
moving
face.
Moving the prayers takes away a lot of difference in terms of player skill, I think, because it makes the prayers you would be able to line your prayers up easier for things like hybriding and stuff like that.
Yes, you would.
Which is I think a legitimate argument. But I don't know, I think it just removes a degree of skill out of it. It's more like it's less like it's like we're raising the floor, so to speak. We're just being like, all right, all players get a free 10% boost in their PKing ability because everyone can now put their prayers in the perfect spot or whatever. I don't know. Like Britting's pretty tough. I can see why people don't want it changed. But then again, like PK, I don't know. PKers don't have enough poll. I don't think in the polls they can really only influence like what, maybe 10%.
Yeah,
I don't
like
think
there's not a lot of them these days.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think a lot of players are scared for it to be changed. I don't know. Do we? Is there anything we should go through on the mini map in the dev blog here?
I don't know. I actually didn't take the time to read through all the poll questions at the bottom. Did either of you?
I read them all.
We can read through the poll questions now. All right, question: should an in-game world map be added to old school RuneScape? The map would display the surface world as well as principal dungeons. It would feature a "You are now here" arrow pointing to your current location. The map would be opened from a map icon next to your mini map. The icon will be toggleable as part of the mini map orb toggle. So really similar to like how every client does it. Opening this map would take substantially less time than the original map that was introduced in 2008. So it would load quickly.
It's good.
So I assume that's the question of, do you want a map? And every question that follows is something else. Should skill cape perks provide their perks when mounted in player-owned houses?
Only the
Sure.
owner of the house would be able to utilize the perks. Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I like
Well, it'd be
that.
kind of weird if people could visit your house and then use your perks.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I like that.
I think that would be a little odd. I mean,
Yeah.
like most of the perks are pretty useless when on a skill cape, but some of them are pretty good. Like a
Mostly
construction
teleports.
perk. Yeah, I think a construction perk is particularly good because you can teleport all sorts of interesting places with that.
Mhm.
What else is there? I'm trying not to attack a snake right now.
So the
Killing
achievement
thieves.
diary cape, should it change from
Yes.
5 teleports per day to 5 teleports for each diary master per day?
For each master. I don't know anyone who actually uses the achievement cape to
I've
teleport places.
literally
though.
never used it. to
Yeah, I've
teleport.
never used it either. I got the cape because I wanted the cape. I thought it was really cool, a big achievement.
Mhm.
Got the cape, never used it. It literally is just swag that sits in my bank, so I can swag.
Yeah. I mean, there's no, like, I wouldn't vote no because why not? But I'm never going to use it.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so much stuff like that, and I was just like, I don't see a use for it, but sure. Let's see. Herbo skill cape is equipped. Would it be possible to create unfinished potions using grimy herbs? Which we've talked about skill capes in the past.
Huh.
And I believe the next poll is like minimap and skill cape stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it is.
So I think this is a good perk for Herblore.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's
better than what it is now.
Yeah, it's moderately useful.
Better than unlimited free pestle and mortar.
Yeah.
It's good for the
Indeed.
world's shittiest drop party.
And for making swastikas in the GE, of course. The true use. Okay. Prayer skill cape provides Holy Wrench effect as a perk. Should also provide this effect when it's in your inventory. Why doesn't it already?
I was
do
gonna say
this?
I thought it already
Is my
did.
question.
Honestly.
No, it does not.
Oh well, hell
Because
yeah. It
that
should.
doesn't function with the max cape.
Right. Yeah. No, I thought it did. I was wrong about that.
It only provides that perk when worn.
Well, that's fucking dumb. Yeah, that's a good change.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I think a lot of players have asked for this for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely voting yes to that one.
Mhm.
What else do we got? Agility skill cape. Sees a daily perk. we just love those daily perks, don't we? Which restores 100% run energy and provides an effective stamina potion for 1 minute.
Devalues my explorer's ring.
But you also get the stam effect. Like that's actually
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
yeah, it's actually like not terrible. And you get that on the Maxscape too, of course. I don't know how
Yeah.
you're gonna operate your Maxscape and like go through the whole fucking menu. And
I'll just I'll have to re-download AutoHotkey, honestly.
Isn't the menus from for the Maxscape like disgusting looking? Like there's just so much
They're
stuff.
not that bad. They're separated, right? So you can open the teleports menu or the features menu. They don't overlap, so
So wait, yeah, it's got like teleports and features separate, right?
Guys,
Mhm.
we forgot to talk about our email last week.
that's okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the email that we
Forgot
got,
we got
right?
an email.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
very
yeah,
first
Chase,
email.
Chase,
Yeah.
tell me about the email.
Yeah, I randomly I was doing some work, some freelance
Oops.
work, so I had to switch between email accounts anyway. And as I was switching back, I was like, you know what? I'll check the podcast email. We've never had a legit email before,
We never get emails.
and to my surprise, we had an email. Although I hesitate to call it a legit email.
Oh, it was legit.
The email address it came from was support@autohotkey.com or something similar to that. There was no subject. The body of the email just said CX.
They're listening. They're
was it.
watching our podcast.
That was it.
That's right, man.
And
Auto
I
Hotkey is
feel
gonna
like
hook us up.
I feel like it wasn't Auto Hotkey. I feel like it's somebody who's phishing people who use Auto Hotkey.
No, definitely not. We're definitely not getting fished.
So
They
yeah,
would
that's,
never do that.
that's all our email has been used for so far. So yeah.
We were tempted to message them back and just ask, "Can you sponsor us?" But definitely not legit. On the subject of CX, Ice got banned.
Yeah,
Right?
he did.
He got like swatted at an airport or something, and Twitch
Mhm.
kind of said like, "Well, it was your fault." So
Yeah.
it's basically what
Yeah,
they said.
even Ice is not sure what's going to be happening yet. I think people are just like waiting to find out if he's going to get unbanned or not this time.
Mhm.
And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't. It's like his fourth strike. He's been banned like so many
Yeah,
times
Twitch has
before.
said it's indefinite, which just means an undefined period of
Yeah.
time.
Well, his last ban was 45 days. You kind of assume that the one after that's going to be permanent, or at least a very long
Yeah.
time.
Mhm. He's in exile for a year now. Can you imagine getting banned for a year? Would anyone even know who you are when you came back?
With Ice's presence, people will
With
still know
Ice,
who he
yeah,
is. But for
people-
us, people will be like, who?
Who?
Who's this V's and W's guy? Fuck him.
Crypt
Thinks
says,
he
I
can
want
just
to bet
come
because
back.
what did you say? Did you bet that Ice was going to get banned again? Who else got this many chances from Twitch? Surprisingly, a lot of people have
Legendary
gotten a lot
Leia.
of chances. Mm-hmm. Didn't she show her? Oh, okay, we won't get into that.
Whatever word you were going to say, the answer is yes. It has been
Yeah,
shown.
Yep.
She's infamous.
I've heard some stories.
And it
Well,
was
what is
a
it?
quote unquote accident.
Yeah. Which time is the question.
All of them.
Yeah, apparently.
I
it's
mean,
an accident
sometimes you
every
get a
time.
beaver pet and you just really want to show your friend. Just how it works.
That's
a rare
something
drop,
like I'd
you know?
expect me to say.
I know. It was like a Robism.
Oh man,
I was editing the podcast from last week earlier this afternoon, and I was skipping through just to make sure that the audio didn't desync, and I got to the part at the end where Rob was like, "I would fuck King Kong because he got that King Dong." I was just like, "Oh right, this happened."
Oh yeah, like right. Rob's an idiot. Okay. All right. Let's get back to RuneScape. We had some more poll questions. All right. Should the hunter skill kit provide unlimited teleports to black and red Chinchompas rather than 5?
Really.
Yes.
Sure.
Why not gray chins?
Why does Jagus have such a hard on for limited daily stuff that you can do with your capes?
I liked our podcast when we went over the revisions for skill K perks that we could come up with. That was a fun podcast.
Yeah. I thought that was
There
very
was so
fun,
many
yeah.
jokes about
That was like
the
podcast
daily
number
uses.
6.
I don't remember.
I think it was like 6 or something like that. One of those. But we talked about the skill kit perks. So it's kind of cool that they're actually, doing some of this stuff. All right. When equipped, the fire making skill cape acts as a light source. Should also as a light source once in your inventory.
Yes. Makes
Okay.
sense.
That also means the max cape,
Yeah.
is now a light source, which is pretty cool. Like half these questions are like, do you want the max cape to be a little better? That's pretty much. Because
Who's-
half of these you're not going to use with the actual
Who's
skill
carrying
cape.
the fire making cape around?
Yeah, like half of these you're not going to use for what they are on the actual skill cape. It's literally just like, do you want max cape to be cooler?
Sure.
Like half these questions are like, this will make the max cape at least 5% cooler. Oh man, as if it wasn't awesome enough to have a max cape. All right, next one. Should the smithing skill cape provide the effect of goldsmithing gauntlets in addition to its existing perks? Yeah,
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
I'm all down for skill capes being better.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely. Should players with 95 plus rune crafting be able to craft double laws? 99 be able to craft double deaths.
Sure.
I'm glad
Yeah,
this
I
shit's
don't
getting
mind
pulled.
that either.
Yeah,
Actually.
I mean, I think double deaths might get done for money,
Mhm.
if nothing else.
Oh, it certainly will.
Yeah, I think it would.
I
The
mean, they're
gatherings
not.
are expensive as shit right now.
They are. It's horrible.
Yeah. How much are they each?
It's like 400, 410.
Yeah, last I looked, they were
Wow.
like
Yeah, that's
380.
better than double mats by quite a bit then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may have gone back down.
They'd
They're
get
350
99
too.
for it though. Yeah, 350. As long as they're consistently
370.
like,
We're all over the place here.
like mid 300s, as long as they're consistently like mid 300s, they're going to be better than
Yeah.
mats. And they have a much bigger sink, I think. You use
Mhm.
death runes for a lot more stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Also somewhat useful for Iron Man because you got to buy a shitload of the things. You got to buy a lot of them.
I've
Of course,
never
it's
bought
always-
death runes in my life.
It's always faster to buy runes than make them. And the fact that you need 99, I don't know. Maybe it won't be useful for Iron Man then. No, I think I'll just still buy mine, actually. Unless I want post 99 or CXP.
Yeah, no.
No, that doesn't sound like something I want, actually.
No.
Nightbot's selling me out. That's wrong, Nightbot.
That schedule
I'm
is.
not live.
We gotta laugh at that.
Yeah, that was from before I got a job. Need to update that, I think. Yeah, I think other than double death runes, it's not really that useful. But it makes sense that these should be here, right?
Yeah. I mean, if anything, it takes people doing post 99 off of Nat, so they'll increase in price a bit. Not be completely garbage.
True.
It'll also pull people off of Astrals, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think people do Astrals because of the XP. As
Astrals
well.
is more
definitely
GP an
both.
hour.
It's definitely both.
Yeah, Astrals
so.
is actually more GP an hour. That's true.
Mhm.
Because you can do it much quicker.
Yep.
Therefore, more runes per hour. Therefore, more money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should it be possible to empty rune pouches by holding shift and left clicking?
Sure.
Sure.
This also makes it so you can't drop them with shift left click.
I don't know why anybody would be.
Although, yeah, I was like, I'm not sure why you'd want to drop your rune pouches in the first place, so seems fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. I think it's a good change. I'm all for more stuff with shift left click.
Yeah.
I think there's a poll question, or a question in the Q&A rather, where they asked about. Sorry, one sec. My throat's getting to me. They asked about. Oh, where was I? They asked about doing this for like stuff in the bank, right? So
Mhm.
depositing items, withdrawing items, stuff like that. And basically, they said it's currently only coded to work with your inventory. They can't do anything else with it. So engine work.
Yep.
A little unfortunate, because I would like to see that for banking. We've talked about that several times, but probably not going to happen anytime soon. I don't think so. Don't get your hopes up on that one. Should pieces of the rogue's equipment earned from the rogue's den minigame be awarded in a set order? This would prevent duplicates.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I wasted on my main. I wasted a lot of time on this. On my hardcore Iron Man, I got it almost instantly. But I mean, I think that just shows why it probably should.
Well, people have been saying for a long time this minigame sucks. There's no reason to do it except for the outfit. Getting the outfit can take you a long time if you're unlucky, and they never like buffed the minigame itself. They never made it give any better rewards. So there's no reason
and they've done this. I think there's precedent because they've done this with other sets in the past, right?
The
They've done it
lumberjack
with,
outfit.
They did it with lumberjack. They did it with
Angler.
angler.
They did it with angler
outfit.
Yeah.
What? When?
Yeah, angler. You can't get duplicates.
What? Fuck you guys. It took. Are you sure?
Yeah.
When did
No,
that
you
change
can't.
happen?
Just your rate of getting the piece of the angler outfit kind of sucks because it's like 12 minutes a game, but so it can take some time.
I'm trying to think
but
if I ever
yeah,
got duplicates or if I just got really unlucky.
you cannot get duplicates.
Okay,
Nope.
I think I was just unlucky. It took me like 20 hours of trawler to
With
get
the
my set.
farming outfit, you can just buy the pieces, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah, you
takes,
buy
I
them
think the
It takes a
while,
pyromancer's
though.
outfit, outfit's still randomized, though, isn't it?
The pyromancer, you said?
No. For like the actual set itself, it is not. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
until you have the full set. However, like
The
with stuff
gloves
that
are
doesn't
random,
count.
aren't they?
Yeah, the
No,
gloves.
no,
gloves
no,
are
no.
random.
No, it's random. I have duplicate.
Is
I have a
it?
duplicate top. Yeah, it's random.
Without having the full set.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's not in a set order.
Huh.
Yeah, people in chat are saying Pyro is
Yeah,
random.
it's
I haven't
random.
done enough Winter Todd to know. I have literally 0 Winter Todd Casey ever. Because fuck Winter Todd.
It's not random without
And
having the
fuck
full
fire
set.
making.
Are you sure? So I got the top again after I got the full set, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Cub.
that's possible. I
maybe.
mean, most people get the full set pretty quickly, right?
It took me a long time.
Yeah.
Actually, I
wouldn't
got
know,
4
though,
pairs
'cause
of warm
I haven't
gloves.
done any. Yeah, I've heard you get a lot of warm gloves, and I think
Yeah.
those are randoms. Oh no, well, yeah, apparently, like, there's precedent for this with like every other set in the game. You can't get screwed on it.
Yeah.
This is the only one, basically. So yeah, I'm all for them changing that because like I said on my main, it took me like hours, and my main has high agility, high thieving, so I can use the best shortcut. It took me like maybe an hour on my hardcore Iron Man that has 50 thieving and 50 agility. Like, so I had to take the longest path.
Yeah, I still don't have the outfit. I'm gonna wait for it.
Yeah, I just think it's weird how you can just get screwed so much on it. So many rogue sets. The rogues, what is it? Rogues kits.
Yeah.
The kids.
Those are good for like quests. Is what they're good for. Like a new quest comes out, you might need some ropes or lockpicks. Take
Yeah,
a couple
man.
rogue sets with
I
you.
mean, like even just getting them in general as a reward isn't bad because they do give you a rope. Now all you need is a crude wooden chair. You can hang yourself, man. It's a good reward.
I really want there to be a quest in the future where the required items are a rope and a crude chair.
It needs to be given by the Bodhi NPC.
Oh my god.
It's a quest for only
Oh.
Iron Man.
Yes. That would be amazing.
I think an Iron Man quest would be kind of neat.
It'll never
I
happen.
think players would vote no, but
It would
I
never
think
get
it's
into the
actually not a
game.
bad idea.
No.
Yeah,
Can't
it would
develop
never pass a
content for
poll.
only Iron Man.
It would have to give
Yeah.
no quest points.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it would just never pass. Period.
Yeah, it wouldn't
I
happen.
mean that too, but
90% set in the GE for the Iron Man quest. It all takes place at the GE. You're playing an Iron Man, and part of the quest you have to beg for money in the GE.
I don't mean to interrupt. Spidine's still the best way to get red spider eggs outside of Venenonis. Like that's still a thing.
Spidines.
Spidine, yeah. What you know what the
Yeah,
fuck I
those
mean.
things. In the Tower of Life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those still like the metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it may actually be faster than Venatus if you're unlucky. Right. So we were at poll questions, weren't we? Yeah, the Rogue's outfit. It's a good idea.
Yes.
All right. Should an activity timer be added to pest control? The rewards for winning a round to be increased to 3, 4, and 5 points for easy, medium, and hard boats. The activity timer will require you to remain active for the full duration of the game, dealing damage or contributing to the success of your team.
No more
They're
leeching.
like, hey, can people stop leeching in pest control, please? I don't know about you, but I'm getting my auto clicker. I don't know. I'm kind of on one hand, I would like more points for games because that just cuts. I never really AFK in pest control, so this doesn't really hurt me that much.
Yeah, I see it being a good thing because they're saying, hey, in exchange for you no longer being a shitlord and leeching off of your team, we'll give you more points per game. I think that's a fair trade. It's not like the
Yeah,
minigame
because you'll
is
get your
hard.
void set faster
Yeah,
overall.
You will get your void
'Cause
set
you-
faster for a little more effort. It's not a hard minigame.
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, if you're with a good team, the game's only complete so fast, anyways, because you're always waiting on the portals, and you never really fail games. But if that's the case, you're getting more points per game. Yeah, you have to be active, but I don't know. I mean, like technically, you'd get your shit faster, but you just have to pay a bit more attention.
Yeah, it seems like a good thing to me.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, it's not difficult to do. The matches by themselves are already quick.
Yeah.
Typically. Like, they average like 2 minutes or so, and then you've got like 15 seconds in between, maybe. Sometimes people take a little bit to get onto the lander, like have the next match go. But like, as long as people aren't fucking around, they're really fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think for people getting void sets, I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people did go in there and just kind of AFK their void set, but void sets don't take that long to do. Really, I think this more kind of hurts people that are like more in low lander situation, which is a very unique situation that they want to AFK a lot of games for stats. I believe that's where he got a lot of his prayer experience. And I know like some 10 HP accounts and stuff like that, they go in there and like, do the wood cutting and fletching stuff. And they get a lot of their XP that way and stay 10 HP or whatever. So I think this is maybe those accounts are affected the most by this, really.
But isn't this more beneficial for them though? Because you get more points per game, so more XP per game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It seems like a give and take. I think if I was staying at pest control for an absurdly long amount of time, I might value the AFK-ness over the amount of time it takes if the difference is only maybe a few hundred hours.
But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I've never done it repairing barriers and stuff. But like,
Yeah,
to my
I've never done it
understanding, you cut trees, and they're not like oak trees or anything where you sit there for multiple cuts. They're just regular
Yeah, it's
old
just
trees
regular trees.
where you have to move on like immediately. So I don't know.
And you sit there and fletch for like the entire
basically.
game after that.
Like, I don't imagine that would change a lot.
I don't know. I'm all for more points though, so I think I'm going to be voting yes to this one. Just because personally, I never AFK the game anyways.
I never really did either. I would always protect the Void Knight.
For me, it would just always end up net positive amount of points for me.
I think it's a good thing.
All right, let's move on from this one. Here's one that I know caused like a lot of people to bitch and moan on Twitter about, and I can kind of agree a little bit. Should the amount of Castle Wars tickets rewarded after each game be 5, 15, and 25 for a loss, win, and draw? 25 points for a win.
Yeah, that's a lot of tickets.
That's a lot of fucking tickets. It's currently like what?
3 or 4? I think it's like 4 for a win.
I think it's 3 for a win.
3 or 4, yeah. It's not.
Yeah,
very
3
many.
for a win, 2 for a draw, 1 for a loss.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think something like that. It used to be 2, 1, and 1 and 0, right? Or something like
I
that.
have no idea.
No, I think it's always been the same.
No, it was changed at some
You
point
sure?
to award points for losses. Yes.
Yeah, we are Moose. We were talking about the proposed Castle Wars update changing the tickets.
Yeah, it's like I view it as a good thing for most players because most players don't want to take the time to do Castle Wars because you don't get anything useful out of it. But I can also understand people complaining about it because this is one of those situations where it actually does devalue things people have done in the past.
Yes, but you have to understand that a lot of the players, this affects peers mostly. Let's be honest. A lot of peers that got their Halos in the past did it at a point in time where people would join clans to point boost Castle Wars. So what they would do is they do Castle Wars in one world and then be like, all right, everyone in the CC jump to this world. They boost another game in that world. All right, everyone go to this world. Boost another game in that world.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So people were already getting their Halos at an extremely accelerated rate.
that's true.
So a lot of people, it's similar to like a lot of Iron Men who have rune pouches boosted points for their emblems. Now we have a way to get emblems legit, and yeah, it probably takes longer, but they would rather do it that way. That's the way I kind of see it. Like a lot of people that had Halos before just boosted them. They didn't legitimately play Castle Wars to get them. And I don't begrudge them for that. They were working with a system that frankly sucks to get a best in slot item, similar to how Iron Man boosted, their rune pouches. I don't grudge them that. I think that's how I would do it if I played it pure. That is no longer possible. They took that off the table. So you can no longer boost your points. But what that means is, it sucks a lot more for new pures. And maybe that's why we've seen pures be a little bit I don't know. It seems like the PKing scene has been less popular in the past year or so. Definitely seems like the PvP scene has slowed down a lot. And I don't know, maybe the fact that like getting Halo sucks so much is part of that. And God forbid you ever lose your Halo, you know, your account gets hacked or something like that, and they drop your Halo. That would suck, right? I don't know. I understand how this can, like you said, this does seriously devalue the Halos that are currently out there. But I don't know. I'm almost for, if their aim is to make the Halo a more accessible item, I would less have them increase the amount of Castle Wars tickets than reduce the price of a Halo. Or maybe not increase the points so severely. Because 25 tickets is a lot for a win. That makes the decorative armors from Castle Wars pretty obtainable, actually.
Yeah.
And I think people like that the decorative armors are like stupidly expensive in terms of cost.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely, there's a lot of completionist players out there who feel that way.
Yeah, I wonder if TOTUS is going to have to change the points for getting...
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's like 3,000 hours of Castle Wars to get all of the
Is
items.
it really?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
To
It's
get the
fucking
best decorative,
ridiculous.
That's like, you
To
could
get the
max
best
in that
decorative-
time.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. The best set of decorative takes about as long as maxing.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. It's just a big prestige thing. I don't think I've
Ugh.
seen more than like one or two people in this game ever with a full set of gold
I've
decorative.
never seen someone in OSRS with it.
I'm talking in all my time playing, not just this
Oh.
version of the game.
I've
all my
seen a
time
few
playing.
people back in the
Yeah,
day.
that's what I'm saying. I can count on like one hand the amount
Yeah.
of players I've seen with it.
This is a massive waste of time.
So it's, yeah, I mean it is, but it's a very prestigious thing. So on one hand, yes, this would do some good, but at the same time, I think a lot more people, you know, like it would be decorative armor and stuff like that would be much less prestigious. I think if what they're going for is Halos, like making Halos more accessible, they should just lower the price of Halos. But if what they're wanting to do is just make Castle Wars more accessible, then sure. But this is a tough one for me, just because the amount of points is so much.
I'm completely okay with it.
I honestly don't
It's like-
mind, but it's because I don't plan on doing Castle Wars for that many hours, no matter what they do to it. I'm never
Yeah.
going to do that.
Yeah, I'm
And so
not
like, I'm
either.
kind of in Chase's situation too. Like, I don't really ever plan to do Castle Wars unless I were to make a peer and want a Halo. So I'm almost more just tempted to vote no, because I think for the community that this matters to, they don't want it.
But what about the community of people that would like to do Castle Wars for the stuff, like for the armors, but they see 3,000 hours and you're like, no.
Yeah, I think there's a significant amount of players who will see that, and likely the poll will pass because of those casual players, I think. And if that's what's good for the game, I guess, sure, that's what's going to happen. But at the same time, I think there are some people that are going to be pissed off, and have somewhat of a reason to, because the Castle Wars community has been playing Castle Wars because they like to play Castle Wars. You know, it's a small community, but it is a community in this game.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it personally. Like I don't know, I don't see a problem with like devaluing in general, because like it makes things more accessible. Like as long as it's not over the top, which arguably this could be. But I mean, Castle Wars, I've never been a fan of Castle Wars personally. I find it to be a very dull mini game. And spending 3,000 hours there, like if I ever wanted to go for completion and stuff, which I do, like that would be like a nail in my coffin. It would be the equivalent of Chase going for Bloodhound Pet and purely doing Bloodhound Pet, and then adding on like another 1,000 hours.
Yeah. Oh.
So 1,000 hours dry on Bloodhound. Like I don't know. That sounds awful to me. Versus maybe a couple hundred hours at most. Like I don't know.
I think it's going to pass. I think players are going to vote yes.
I think it's better for the game if it passes, like as a whole, versus just one niche community.
Yeah, I think for the game as a whole, it's probably better that the minigame isn't just kind of awful.
Yeah.
Because I would agree in its current state, outside of those people who just really enjoy playing the game, There's no use for Castle Wars. Nobody does it. Nobody plays it. Unless Pierce, if they want best in slot armor, they kind of have to. So, yeah, you basically got three camps of players: people who have zero interest in playing it, Pierce who just want to get their fucking Halo and get out of there, which they would appreciate this. And then the dedicated players who really don't care what the reward is; they're going to play it anyways. And I guess maybe some group of players who, well, I'd play it, but it sucks. So that's kind of the situation, I guess. I don't know. I see it coming into the game.
Yeah, I see it passing.
All right, let's move on from that. Here's a cool question. Players who have completed the Elite Wilderness Achievement Diary receive noted Dragon Bones when killing dragons of the wilderness. Should they also receive noted Dragon Bones when PKing? I think that's cool.
I really like that.
Yeah, I will never benefit from this update as an Iron Man, but this is cool. And I want this.
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't mind just like throwing on some fucking random rune sets I have in the bank and like going and PKing people like green dragons just for fun. And like, getting the noted bones out of it would be a big bonus.
Yeah.
Here is it, the Elite Diary, Ben.
Yeah, this is for the Wilderness Elite.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this will make killing green dragon bots a lot more fun. Because you can just like kill bots, hop worlds, kill bots, hop worlds, kill bots.
It would definitely
You
make it
a
more
lot of money
profitable.
doing it. Yeah, you'll make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely know it's one of like when you're like a low level PK or some people even make specially built accounts to PK that way. Staff the Dead Pures come to mind.
Mhm.
Staff the Dead Pures are pretty much just bot slaying machines out of green dragons. Yeah, this is gonna be sweet for those guys.
You get them noted
Especially-
no matter what, Ben.
It's basically just a noted bones in the wilderness, no matter if you PK it or kill the dragon yourself or whatever.
Actually,
All
a good
right.
point.
What's that?
People PKing their own bots to get them noted.
Well, then they're risking an account they took all the time to. I mean, they should be able to see that you're killing accounts that are traceable back to your own account, right?
I would
'Cause you-
imagine so.
You'd be PKing the same accounts, sort of, right?
Yeah, you would.
It's possible.
Like with all the effort it would take to get Wilderness Elite, I don't see that being a thing. But like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
'cause
surprised if it happened.
They could trace the account because, like, what do? You get all the bones, you sell all the bones, you get the cash. Well, now you have to RWT the cash some way, and that's eventually going to be traceable back to the account you killed the bots on, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I agree with Crypthead here. I was like, or you could just fucking bank with your botting account, like it doesn't take that long.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
just a
I
glory
don't
charge.
think that being. I don't think it's gonna be a thing. I kind of agree with Rob here.
No.
Anyways, it's cool, right? We want this.
Yeah, I want it.
All right, here's the last one on the devlog. Should the Blue Dragon area found in Towerley Dungeon be expanded with Blue Dragons which can only be killed on task? Didn't we already expand this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We added 3 more. They want 12 additional Blue Dragons on task only. Those aren't the only Blue Dragons in the game, you know.
I
There's
mean, they're
also-
the only ones worth killing.
Well, there's the ones in Gutanoth as well. They take a little bit longer because you tell Ada you kneel and then you run there, but
Yeah.
or you can take the fair ring and run north. I don't know. I'm cool with it. Whatever.
Yeah, it's good for
What are
me.
people gonna do?
Okay.
Bot Blue Dragons? Don't answer that. People already do that.
I'm sure they do.
Maybe that's why we need on task Blue Dragons. Honestly, I don't know. Chase, what's your thoughts on 12 more Blue Dragons?
It seems kind of excessive, but at the
Yeah,
same
like,
time,
12 is
Blue Dragons
A
are
lot.
it's a shitload of spawns, but it's I don't know. Every time anybody from my stream gets a Blue Dragons task, they're upset about it. Maybe this would alleviate some of that. I don't really.
I don't think people
it's-
like to do Blue Dragons.
Nobody likes
It's
to do
just
Blue
a
Dragons.
shit task.
It is.
Like, it's good
maybe-
money,
Yeah.
But it involves a shitload of running back and forth, and it makes it take forever.
Maybe
Like, I don't think I've ever done like a proper Blue Dragon task on actual Blue Dragons. I always go to babies if I'm there.
I don't know. I think it would help, but it's still not going to be an appealing task for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's still a skip task for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, well,
Unless you're
that covers
hardcore.
the Yeah, if you're hardcore, no, I think you can still skip it.
Nah,
Why not?
because you need the prayer XP from the bones.
You can pray XP elsewhere.
Not realistically. Like, if I'm not mistaken, your best thing is either camping out Blue Dragons, Pest Control, or over time through Ensouled Heads, which you should still be doing through Slayer, which should still be done with Blue Dragons, because you also get the Dragon Heads on top of the bones.
Yeah, I would think pest control is the way people go about it if they want 99. Because it's the safest, right?
Yeah, if you're going like start to finish to 99, but as you're training up Slayer, I don't think it would be a skip task.
Yeah, maybe not. You might be right. I don't know. I don't play enough hardcore to really consider that. I think once I had got 70, I'd probably just Bone Crusher from there.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's talk about the the actual game update instead of future game updates. Let's talk about diverse dungeons, which sounds exactly like a Skyrim mod. This sounds like something I would go on Nexus Mods and download. Diverse
Yep.
dungeons for Skyrim version 3.1. It's like cool.
Oh Lord. Okay. I nearly just made 400 Torstal potions unfinished.
Oh, nice. I've got like 700 in my bank.
Poor guy.
Yep, that was you do it one time. Yeah, that's the kind of mistake you only have to make once. Right. Anyways, they split up Neve's Cave, which is cool. Okay, most people think it's cool because it passed. But okay, here's a fun question. Have any of you guys seen someone or somebody in your chat or somebody in game or wherever that's really upset about Neve's Cave?
Yes.
Okay.
Lots on Twitter.
I don't really have like too many stories. Not specific. It's always like, shit, I have a task, and like they've gone to Neve's Cave and then realized that it's not there anymore.
That it's not there.
Or they're just like, where the fuck is the new location? It's just like, well, if you read the post, it tells you exactly where it is, and the nearest ferry ring or whatever. So it's not like it's that hard. But I've had several people being upset about it.
Like, my experience, like, by and large, been people bitching and complaining about not knowing where to drop their cannons now. Like, having to relearn it.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
People are like, Buddy doesn't have cannon
blood
spots.
Velds? I don't think there's cannonball blood velds anymore. Are they still in Neve's
Cave? Cave? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're in Neve's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought to myself, I'm like, wait, they put the ones in the Slayer Tower, but they're not cannonable. I was like, wait, what?
No,
and then I realized, oh no, wait, they're still in Neve's Cave, aren't they?
Yeah, they made like a big section of it.
Yeah, Neve's Cave now has Blood Velds, Onkus, Aberrant Specters, Hellhounds, Fire Giants. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
No more blue. Maybe this is why they're adding the Blue Dragons, because they took the Blue Dragons out of Neve's Cave.
Could be.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because there were Blue Dragons back in Neve's Cave.
I never killed them in Neve's Cave.
I never saw anyone there, but
I didn't know they existed.
They did exist. I don't know. Yeah, no, I think it's much more reasonable that we're getting 12 dragons now.
Yeah, I also didn't know there were black demons there.
What?
Yeah, there were black demons way in the back.
Yeah, I only learned that recently.
I used to kill them there because they're single way combat.
I've always gone to Taverley. Like until
and then I blocked black
Catacombs.
demons because I figured out they're terrible.
Oh yeah, they're fucking awful.
And then demonic gorillas came out and I needed some items. So they got unblocked. They're gonna get blocked again pretty soon here. I've got I've got 5 Zenites now actually.
Nice.
I still need 2 monkey tails though.
Poor guy.
So that's not gonna be fun. But yeah. I can see why people might be pissed off. But I think the update overall was good for the game. What do you guys agree?
I think it's a cool thing. Yeah, and like I said, you're right. The majority of what I've heard is OS Buddy is not telling me where to drop my cannon anymore, and I'm just like, fucking, don't use OS Buddy then, cheater.
Cheater.
It's kind of funny when people come in and they're just like, aren't you upset that they haven't updated OS Buddy yet today? And I'm just like, no, don't use OS Buddy.
Like, I don't know, man. My client doesn't tell me how to play the game.
Or like,
so.
damn it, my OS Buddy Pro ran out. Kind of, it's always free, dude. Make the change.
You're like paying for your client in 2017 forehead. Ali says, am I justified to be annoyed? I got my arcane sigil 3 weeks ago on 36 KC, 451 KC, no elixir. No, you have no right to be annoyed. Get fucked. Oh man, wasn't it Sinzig? He finished like an arcane or something like that, or spectral or something, and like 100
Really?
KC. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
right.
Sinzig.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Sinzig. He finished some shield in like 100 KC. It was really low. Lucky mother.
Impressive.
Yeah, that is very impressive. He got all 3 drops, like no duplicates, nothing. 100 KC or so. Boom, done.
That's crazy.
It was an arcane. Yeah, damn. That's I think arcane's the best one to get overall for an Iron Man. Better than an Ellie even. Even if I got an Ellie, that would be cool because Bandos all day. But
I'm gonna go back to Bandos for that pet.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna get my Ellie and then we're back to Bandos. It'll be easy, right?
I'd argue Spectral.
No, I
Just
don't think
for
so.
Serb.
Because it's pretty much just Serb.
Yeah, just for
And once
Serb,
you get the
though.
boots and shit, you're just like, nah, don't care.
Serb's an efficient Slayer task, though.
Yeah,
Iron
but
Man.
the arcane's useful for more than just one thing, though.
I mean, I actually don't know if Serb's efficient for Iron Man. I think Hellhounds are actually a block.
You think?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's what Osiris recommends until you want the crystals. Same with Black Demons. Black Demons are a block until you want.
I know
the,
Black Demons are
the
blocks.
Zenites.
I'm killing Black Demons right now.
I don't know. I can't really see. I know for main it's really efficient because of how much money you get.
Mm-hmm.
The prims alone are worth it in terms of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're down the rabbit hole though. We got a bunch of new Slayer shit.
That never happens. We never go off on tangents.
No, never.
I'll sue you.
They
to say
added
otherwise.
Chasm of Fire. I think this is the coolest one, right? It's just like a pit of demons on Zaya. It's cool as fuck. Also, there's an NPC at the bottom. I think Yama. No. Okay. Anyways, demon looks kind of spooky and says some spooky things. So potential quest implications or something neat. Maybe some new mini quests or some item or something. Could be cool. I don't know.
Mini quests.
I'm down. I don't know. I like neat lore stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
I'd rather have a regular quest than a mini quest.
Everyone thought it was going to be like a demi boss. They thought they were going to put a demi boss down there. That would have been cool too.
Another demi boss that they say, nope, it's a demi boss, no pet, and then a year later.
No pet. Just kidding, pet. But we're going to pull it.
At least they pull.
All right. We also got the Towerly Dungeon expansion, aka let's check a bunch of black demons over here. Yeah, pretty much. It's like a staircase you take, right? Or do they just like add it to the end of?
So it's just an addition. Like the addition is just that room on the west side, right? The Black Dragons room.
Yeah. I think originally they wanted like a ladder that you would climb up, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't actually visited this location because
No.
I don't really ever kill black dragons.
No.
Or not here at least.
Even for me right now, that's a skip.
Yeah. Although I guess I would have to go here now because this is where you kill baby black dragons if you kill those.
Yep.
So I'll figure it out pretty soon, I guess. But no, I haven't gone to this location yet. But I'm pretty sure it's just kind of like It's just back in the area where you kill hellhounds, right? Oh no! I see. You go upstairs and it goes over that stuff where you kill the hellhounds. I think that's what it looks like. It's hard to tell from the map that they give you. It's pretty hard to tell.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kraken Cove, way out in Piscatores, which also has water fiends. Because people kill those, I guess. Have either of you ever done a water fiends
Nope.
task?
Yes,
Really?
Really?
I have done one.
Did you get a misstaff?
I didn't know this was before that, and
Why
I
did
didn't
you
have
do
a
that?
why because it was my very first task from Duradel.
Really? That's
It
like the
was.
rarest task from Duradel.
Yeah, and I didn't have a host at the time, so my best crush weapon, I used a dragon mace. Not as a spec weapon, like as my
Just
primary.
as a weapon, yeah.
Yeah. It was the
Jesus.
worst thing I have
So,
ever done in this
I
game.
just want to say I went to grab a new Slayer task. My cape perk procced again. I got Black Demons back to back. Came back in like 30 seconds, and one of my viewers had taken my world.
Good.
Wow.
Scrub.
Zaxi, you're dead to me.
We're no longer friends. You are unfriended.
Unsub.
Right. So I don't know. They didn't really change the layout of the Kraken Cave or anything at all. It's just in a different place. And that's pretty much what this update is, right?
Yeah.
It's like we didn't really change Neve's Cave. We just like put it somewhere else. That makes sense. I think the one that's probably going to annoy a lot of people is the Calphite Hive, though. It's not very conveniently located.
Isn't it just like right outside Shanty?
Mm-hmm. I think there's a teleport to Shanty on the Diary Cape.
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure you can teleport to that guy. There's like a guy in Shanty Pass you talk to for the diary. For the desert diary. Yeah, you can see it right there on the map in the update. Yeah, so you can diary cape there. It's probably the fastest teleport.
Yeah.
Or you could POH teleport to the area outside and then take a carpet ride. Necklace of Passage gets you there too, apparently. Maybe. I don't know. I've never used one.
Could Glory Telly that puts you in
Yeah,
like, the
Glory Telly to
palace.
Al-Qarid, run south.
There's also the KQ Hive Fairy Ring that you could just
KQ Hive
run
Fairy Ring
east.
Yeah, pretty far west. You're gonna have to run quite a bit east for that one.
It wouldn't be that bad.
There's a couple
Actually-
decent ways to access it.
Actually, because
Yeah.
they moved these things, I've been skipping Cal fights the last few days. Before I would do them because I was already there to grab a task and it was right there. But since that,
You're like,
change, I haven't
it's
done-
easy. It'll take
I've
me
skipped
5
stuff.
minutes.
I've skipped them every time since then.
Yeah. There are more spawns in there now, though.
Mm. So it is better
There's
for
actually-
camping, yeah.
Yeah. So be even faster, I think, to do it. Brimhaven Dungeons, where they put all the metal dragons for all like 5 people in this game that do those tasks.
Rock was doing that earlier when he was hanging out in my chat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying out the new area. It's cool.
He was like noted bars, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Is that part of the Karamja diary?
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, that's true. They get access to the Karamja diary now too. Maybe that's not as bad as I thought it was, because it used to be pretty bad. It's true. It's true. No bars. Isn't you can pay for like 5K trading sticks, and then you get access to that like
yeah, it's
really
the
quickly.
shortcut.
Yeah, and it's in the right near the Taiwan teleport, just to the west of it. That's not bad. Overall, I think this is maybe an improvement. Overall, Slayer. Not in like an XP way, because this is all. It makes the XP a little bit worse by spreading things out and stuff like that. Because there is travel time between tasks and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, Slayer
I don't think
before
it's
was
bad, though.
like 80K an hour.
Oh my god, the Slayer before was like, allow me to hang out in this cave for most of the day.
Yeah, basically.
At least if you were doing it efficiently. It's kind of gross, really. You're just like, I'm gonna hang out in the sweatiest, most packed in cave in RuneScape.
Day 15. I haven't left the catacombs in 2 weeks.
Like, I don't think the catacombs is as bad because
No,
at least
it's
there's
not.
like there's like different environments a little bit in like different areas, and it has
Kinda.
like a feel to it. Neve's Cave is kind of just like it's depressing.
Yeah.
That's what Neve's Cave was. What else is there? Oh yeah, there's now a basement in the Slayer Tower dungeon.
Right.
The Slayer Tower basement. I am kind of happy for this though, because it means it's like a little bit easier to access neck rails and stuff like that.
And if you've done the diaries, you still get the Slayer XP increase.
Yes. Yes. It's not in the tower, it's in the basement. That'd be the funniest argument ever. What if they just didn't put the XP in, and then when they were asked about it on like a Q&A or something, it's in the basement, it's not in the tower. Oh man. That would make me laugh so much. Oh yeah, that's true. Also the gargoyles. Ontas gargoyles there. And you still get the bonus XP. Which was why I wasn't doing them in Neve's Cave to begin with. But I was also getting really annoyed at all the people in the Slayer Tower killing them in Guffin.
There's so many.
Oh, like every world had like 3 people, man. It's so bad. Oh
Yeah.
Not only does every world have 3
like
people,
on task,
but there's
with
always
a
people hopping
bludgeon.
there too. Like you
Yeah.
can get there and be like, oh my god, there's only 2 people in this world, and then 10 minutes later there's gonna be 2 more that hop there and then make you share like 5 people.
Did you ever get the world with like the guy that was like camping them with broad bolts?
No, I never saw that.
I've had worlds like that where people are just like in the corner with broad bolts, just like killing like 2 of the gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that in my last task actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a guy there with a blowpipe.
I've seen
And
people
he
blow
didn't have an
past him before.
accumulator on.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
What was he wearing?
It was a god cape. Not like the mage one, like the vestment cape thing.
Oh. This explains so much. Can afford a toxic blowpipe. Can't do a 10-minute quest.
Yeah.
Nightmare Zone's a bitch.
Is that one?
They moved the Smoke Devils to south of Castle Wars. And I haven't looked at the new dungeon. Apparently the dungeon looks cooler. Like they updated the graphics a bit. Still the same layout though, so you can still like barrage and all that stuff. Are they actually going to pull the Castle Wars buff? Yeah. It's getting pulled.
Mhm.
Seen Nigel 3 times on my alt at the Slayer Tower gargoyles. Yes. I'm there frequently. It's a good task. I have them extended actually. Do you guys have gargoyles extended?
I think so.
I think they're definitely extend tasks now.
I mean, they give you so
I
much
don't know
money
if
now.
I do.
I just love seeing the straight up 10k GP drops on the floor. It's super weird.
DMC says, think what will happen with Slayer in Deadman mode. Whew. Yeah. Slayer gets a little bit more spooky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're a lot farther from a bank and from a safe zone.
I don't think that's a bad thing though.
Oh, I don't think it's a bad thing either. Yeah, it makes Slayer. It makes those first whips are going to be way more valuable, I think, and they're already really valuable. So yeah, it might actually be pretty exciting. I think for a lot of people, watching people level on Deadman mode is some of the most exciting content. For me personally, I just like watching the final hour. I think that's cool. But yeah, it's going to be cool to watch. I think. I like to just see highlights throughout the week.
It's actually kind of incredible that they've managed to maintain the Deadman hype across so many seasons now, because if I see that a bunch of streamers are all like, come watch me steal cakes for the 4th season in a row, I'm just like, no.
No, thank you.
Everybody's doing the same goddamn thing that everybody else is doing, and that's the same goddamn thing you did last season. Yeah, I think that watching the tournament,
I think
really
putting all the
cool.
focus on the tournament is what.
Yeah, the tournament's cool, but
Yeah.
the rest of it's just like, I can't believe that, and it always draws in more viewers. I don't understand how it still does that now after so many seasons of the same.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it just comes down to like, I think the casting. They always get well, they got like Ian and Skiller to do it this time, and they got I think they got them last time as well.
Yep.
Or was it?
No, they've both done it for a while.
Where
now.
they had. I swear they had skill specs for one of them, didn't they?
They did.
They had
Jay was,
Ian and skill
cool.
specs once. Yeah, they were. I think they were the first. That was the first time they shotcasted. It was the 2 of them.
Yeah. Either way, like I like that they get those guys to do it. because
Yeah,
they do a great job.
the tournament's great, and I do like watching when people like go on a killing spree in Deadman mode, like when people like Bodhi or other known streamers
Yeah,
get to
the
the point where
PKing
they can
parts
start
of the Deadman
killing
stream,
people.
right?
Those are good.
Yeah.
But like the prep work, people will still get like double their normal viewer count just making their account ready to PK, and it's super boring.
Yeah, a lot of people like watching it.
Yeah.
They like discussing the strategy
They
because
just wanna see the
there's
XP
every
drops,
chance
dude.
that you might get your shit wrecked while you're
Yeah.
doing Slayer or
They
something.
just want
like
to see
that.
the XP drops and dream about it.
Oh yeah, the XP drops are fat, especially during tourney. I think during tourney it's a lot more hype. During the regular season, I don't
Yeah,
think people
that's a
really
good
want to watch
point.
after like the first week.
True.
But yeah, during tourney, I think it's a lot of people very excited about that. But yeah, I think Slayer changing significantly on Deadman mode because of these changes. All right, what else happened this week? No more Easter event.
Wait, does it?
Deadman season's done.
Did either of you find it weird that they relocated the Smoke Devil Cave to just south of Castle Wars?
No,
No, I feel like it's like an odd location for it.
not really.
No?
Gutanoth already has like lava and volcano shit in that area.
I guess so.
Albeit
It seems
that's
like a
to the
weird
east.
place.
It's not right next to Castle Wars, but I think there's
don't know.
lore reasons.
It just seemed fairly arbitrary to me.
I think it's as good a location as really any.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad location. It just seemed kind of odd to me when I first heard about it. Because all the rest scrolling through, I was like, yep, makes sense. Yep. And then the last one was like, but why?
I mean, you can put on fucking Crandor. People probably hate that.
You mean
though.
that place that I've
So
only
out of the
gone
way.
for a quest and then master clues?
Yeah, I'll say you go there for some clue steps.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Crandor used to be one of the best places to train, and I'm talking RuneScape Classic when I say
Yeah.
back in the day.
I never even played Classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's greater demons, or sorry, lesser demons there, and moss giants.
Yep.
People used to train on that.
I used to
Good.
trade the lesser demons in the volcano. I would say spot
Same.
range those.
Yep.
I melee him. That's how I got my 70 attack for my first whip.
Mm-hmm. I remember. I'm pretty sure I killed. Have you guys ever tried to get a rune full home from jellies?
I've gotten them by accident. I've never tried to get them.
I tried to get one on my Iron Man when I was a low level. That took a really long time. I wished I had done greater demons.
Why'd you get a
the
rune
drop
full
rate's
helm?
a lot better. Oh, it was just a low level iron and I wanted a rune full. And I didn't know a good way to get it at the
Yeah, I
time.
guess. I
Why?
mean, now wouldn't you just like you'd pass over the runeful helm? Go
No,
straight
yeah,
for
now
Slayer
I
helm, and
wouldn't
Ada's
even
not
care.
helm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I was kind of new to playing Iron Man at this time, and I just
Yeah.
wanted it.
But like Neat's helm and Zerker helm.
Hmm.
Yeah, or you could just do hard clues.
That
Yeah,
too.
hard clue step. That's true. I don't know. I
Then
think
you
it
just
just
get
wanted
hard clue
full
step that
rune.
requires a runeful helm, and then you're fucked.
I was like, I just want full rune. I just want it.
When I was growing up, I actually thought it was super weird that the how the full helms looked in this game.
They
'Cause,
do
like,
look weird.
Well, I was young. I had never played like a medieval game before, really, and I always thought it was super weird how they had like the little like the ornament, like the decoration on the back, like the
Plume.
tuft. Yeah, the plume.
Yeah.
I always thought that was super weird, and I didn't like them when I was a kid.
If anything, the plumes are too small.
Got
I
plume
think
envy,
historically,
Nigel.
plumes were like, really big. But they say about men with small plumes.
Probably got small helmets.
Yeah. Oh no! What I think is weird about the helmets in RuneScape, and it's just because of the graphic system. It's like that, like the metal, like completely like wraps around like under your chin,
Yeah.
which is not quite how that would work. Usually, they wore like mail, like on this part of
Yeah,
it.
you just squish your skull
And then
to get into it.
the mask would come over your face, so there'd be like kind of like an opening like here.
Yeah.
Or it might come under, but not like they have like the one that like swings open. And it's or I mean like you can do that, but they would have to like clip on your neck or something like that, which they obviously can't do with the graphic fidelity. But it just looks weird. It looks like you're wearing like plastic, not like metal. You know what I mean? I don't know. I always thought they looked weird.
I'm gonna completely derail this. What
Okay.
what do you guys think about like cosmetic items for your pet? Because I really want like a top hat and a monocle for my krill pet.
You're stealing my
We
idea.
joked about this. No, I actually joked about this on my stream so long ago, but people thought it was a good idea. You remember back during the Christmas event when they put like the little hats on the pets and shit?
Yeah, I want
I
that.
was like,
exact-
remember, I was like, what is
Yeah, we
this,
talked
Team
about
Fortress 2?
Yeah, we talked about that on
Yeah.
our podcast, and that's when I came up with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was like either cosmetic hats or pets.
See, what it needs to be is when you get the first, you have a funny feeling you would have been followed message.
Yeah, and then you get a hat.
Your pet should gain a cosmetic item.
Yeah.
Like a hat or a monocle or whatever, right? Your pet gets some. You get like a trimmed pet, so to speak. I
I
don't
want
know.
it.
It's prestigious.
I think it'd be
Sure, why
cool.
not?
There's no harm in it.
First to all trimmed pets get fucked, Casey.
God.
Oh God, can you imagine having to get the bloodhound twice?
Just double the time.
Yep. I don't know. I think one day they'll do it. We'll have pet cosmetics. Maybe that'll be our first microtransaction in the game. Kappa.
I'd quit.
I would quit too.
I want to give my mole pet a rope.
Oh my gosh. Want to go to crew chair too?
I think Storage would back me up on this one. Anyway.
Yeah.
Should
All
we,
right. Let's
should
go.
we
let's go back to
rerail after the
updates.
derailing?
Yes. Re-railing. Gilded boots now don't have the funny brown trim on them anymore.
Rig like that.
Holy Book now matches like it says other Ceradoma items, but like they're still like holy sandals look weird as well. But and like the holy wraps look weird. The GE value of some items have been adjusted. Like an Ellie isn't worth like 800 mil anymore, so that's been adjusted. Third Age Cloak, etc. The engine team has done some under the hood work that lets us optimize POH. So yeah, there's no weird delay when you're moving furniture, which is cool. And then just the various bug fixes. The biggest one of which is Blast Furnace Shop now destocks over time if it is overstocked.
Yep.
Thank fucking Christ they did that one. I saw that on the update and I immediately just tweeted at Ash because I tweeted at Ash a couple of times about this. And I was just like, thank you. Because it's I think this is maybe on their mind because of the shop griefing and just like how much myself and a few other players have asked for this over the past few weeks. And basically we really had to convince the JMod that like this was a big problem for Iron Man. Because they seemed reluctant to change the shop's code. They were kind of just like, that's how the shop works. Sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't intended for you to buy your smithing.
It's one of those
there.
things that would have been less of a problem if there were a dedicated Iron Man player on the JMod development team.
Well, their
on the
stance
Ultimate
was kind
development
of
team.
like, it's not intended for you to buy your smithing levels, was basically their stance.
Yeah, but
And what we had to point out was, it's not cheap.
no, but it still would help in general for Iron Man to have an advocate. Where
I
they can
think
back
so.
up player suggestions that are good for Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that Rock said he was going to be starting an Iron Man, right? But like, it's not like he has that much time to get into it.
Either way, though, I'm glad it's happened because now it means people can't grief you at the shops, which was a problem when you'd have people who would put like 10 or 20 gold ore in every store, and nobody could buy gold ore. It was shit, the worst, and you had to wait a week for it to get fixed because it would only fix when the shops reset.
Hmm.
Yeah, great design. Thank you, Jack X.
Did Omnia fuck up Crab the shop again this week?
No idea.
I haven't heard anything.
I knew that I saw there was some joking on Twitter about it, but I don't think they did.
I need to go do some stuff.
Time to go check the shop, Rob.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of rune items in the bank that I need to check.
All right. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna go blow my nose. Do you guys have anything? Oh, let's talk about the Q&A topics. Let's talk about that. I'm gonna send these to you guys in Skype while I do this,
Okay.
and one of you guys can take it from there. I will be right back
All right, I'll grab
because
it.
this is gonna be gross.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah, let me just copy and paste it and do it somewhere else so my Skype regioning isn't fucked for the recording. All right, let's go ahead and drop that into a notepad. All right, these are questions asked on the Q&A, right?
Yep.
All right, so this past Q&A, I again did not watch it. I pretty much never have time / am sometimes sleeping through it. First question that Nigel wrote down was, can the Bloodhound drop rate be looked at again? And the JMod's response was, it's supposed to be rare. Which kind of hurts my soul because, yeah, it was supposed to be rare, but then again, so was the omelet, and they recognized they had made a fucking mistake with the drop rate on that, and they changed it. But they're not willing to do that for the
only
Bloodhound.
like 2,000 hours.
Yeah,
it's no
right?
big deal.
I might as well. It's like I could be like, should I go for the omelet or should I try to max my Iron Man instead? Like, they shouldn't be anywhere near comparable, but they are.
You could get all the cosmetics for the omelet by the time you got a Bloodhound.
Gotta give him a whole fucking wardrobe, dude.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, this one kind of hurts me because it is the hands down the rarest pet in the game, and it's the rarest pet, I guess, before the Bloodhound or before the omelet came out. It was the rarest pet by a very seriously wide margin. And it saddens me that instead of having their usual attitude of, if the players want it, we can take a look at it, it's like, no. I think that it'd be better if they recognize the fact that it keeps coming up because it was kind of a fuck up, and we're open to maybe changing it based on more player feedback. But it's just like they're basically just saying, no, we realize that it kind of sucks and you guys don't always like it, but it's not changing because it's supposed to be rare. I don't like that attitude about this one. I can get.
Yeah,
I guess you know what we're
I
talking
feel
about,
like,
Nigel.
I do. I feel like it's. I think the Bloodhound definitely kind of straddles the line of like, what is reasonable. Some of the Castle Wars, the decorative Castle Wars armor, it's a little unreasonable, right, for what it is. But for the Castle Wars armor, it's not RNG. You just go and do it, right? And it's always going to take you about the same amount of time to do it. But Bloodhound Pet is not that way. You could easily go many more than the suggested amount of time, which is already a lot. I don't know. I feel like the Bloodhound isn't really that forgivable. I feel like the drop rate is just too much.
It is. It's simply.
I would be okay if it were halved from what it is.
Yeah, I don't like the mentality of it's supposed to be rare, because it's like, you know what? Even if it was 1 out of 500, it would still be very rare. It'd still be one of the most time-consuming pets in the game to get.
I think prior to this, prior to Olm and Bloodhound, I think maybe Krill was the most prestigious pet. Or sorry, not Krill, Kree, rather Kree.
Ah,
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
I just don't like how part of their argument is also it's been this way for so long. Seems a bit silly to change it now, and it's like, you just added a Skatizo pet, even though it's been like a fucking year since it came out. When you said we're not adding a Skatizo pet because it's a demi boss, like, I just don't like how the JMods seem very, rigid on this one, which because it's inconsistent. Because on other stuff they've always been like, well, if the players want it, we'll relook at stuff, but they're not willing to budge on this one, even though it's kind of horrible.
Yeah. And to point it out for Moose in the chat, 1 in 1,000 means 1,000 clues will give you a 60-something% chance, like 63 or something like that.
Yeah,
which is
that's disgusting.
It's a lot of time.
There's only one person in the game to have hit 1,000 master clues, and it's been out for so long.
There's only one player in the game who's even gotten near the drop rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more than twice the person in second place.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's unreasonable, but they're not, I don't know why their attitude is so, I just don't get it on this particular issue. They're like, no. And everything else, like, if the players want it, yeah, sure, maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
But on this one, they're just like, fuck you.
I think they're loath to change drop rates in general.
But they changed the old one because they realized they fucked it up. Yeah,
look at how much pulling of teeth we had to do to get them to change anything to do with raids.
Yeah.
Concerning drop rates. Because items, you guys remember when raids came out, items were ridiculously rare.
Yeah.
I think originally they were quite a bit rarer than they are now. It was something like, I think originally it was maybe somewhere more around like you might expect to do more than 100 raids without an item in your name. And now it's something more like 60 or 70 raids probably to get an item in your name.
Yeah, I
Also
like
with
how they approached it though. They recognized that they made a mistake by saying, we haven't seen nearly as many omelets as we would have liked. It's too rare. We've tweaked it. I think that's what they should do with the Bloodhound, honestly. But
I think the reason they were able here's the thing. The situation's a little different, right? Because with the raids, obviously they were able to get a lot of data very quickly because a lot of players were doing raids. Like an absurd amount of players were doing raids the first week or two.
yeah.
It was very clear that there was a problem. I think just because of how quickly people were completing clues, which there might not have been as many people doing master clues in an hour as there were people doing raids during the first 2 weeks of raids. So maybe the data just wasn't coming in quickly enough for them to realize, yeah, this is a little absurd.
Maybe the data wasn't coming in quickly enough for them to realize that, but the constant, like, it's been pretty much a full year of people giving them feedback saying, hey, it's still too rare, by the way. This was a mistake.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we were asking them to tweak raids drops at this point, like this far out, we would likely get stonewalled by the JMods, right? I feel like because of the amount of time that has passed since the Bloodhound was introduced into the game, it's probably never going to get changed, really.
I just don't think it's
just because of the amount of time.
I don't think it's a good enough reason. Oh, hey, it's been this way for
I don't think it's a good reason either. But I think the argument is it devalues more players or some crap like that, right?
I just think if they can be like, if they can change their stance on Skatiza after so long, then they're being inconsistent by saying that that's even remotely related to their decision making. They shouldn't be saying, hey, it's been this way for X amount of time, so we won't change it. That shouldn't be the reason. I don't think it's valid.
No, I agree. Either it's too rare or it's not too rare. And currently their stance is, no, not too rare.
You guys know how fucking bizarre it is? Like, do you ever just, like, take a minute and step back and, like, realize what we're talking about here? Like, no other game has something that is trivial. It's just cosmetic. And it takes 2,000 hours to have a 60% chance to get. Now, that's fucking ridiculous to me. 2,000 hours. That's a long ass time for anyone that, is supposed to maintain a social life, do schooling, have family and work like a full-time job to pay their bills. Like, you get what, maybe 4 hours a day? Like, even at 14 hours a day playing the game, that's still like 160 days. That's half a year devoted to master clues.
2/3 of Rob's face has a good point.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I feel so bad for anybody who watches on my YouTube channel.
The part that gets me from this, I agree, Rob, and the part that gets me is it's random. You might not get it.
Yeah.
Right? I know there are games where there's like ridiculously long grinds that will take that amount of time, but the item's like guaranteed. Like whatever cosmetic thing you're doing or whatever is guaranteed. But it's the amount of time, the expected time to get it for something that's not guaranteed is a little excessive, I think. Because you've got a point, like, it was 2,000 hours. There's stuff you can do in this game that's 2,000 hours, but most of it's guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like 99 smithing or RC F2P or something, right? Like, it's going to take a shitload of time, but you can do it, right? And it's a cool achievement. This is not guaranteed. This is a random thing. And it's just on a level that's, like, way more ridiculous than anything else in the game, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there is the argument of, like, well, it's a rare thing, like, let it be. But it's I mean, I think when you put it in perspective against other stuff, it's maybe a little much.
Moose,
right?
The problem isn't that not everyone can get it. The problem is that almost no one can get it, even if they were to dedicate 2,000 hours.
Even if you were to try to get it. That's the point. Like, Casey's put in a ton of time into it.
You can't tell me that content that was developed and isn't reasonable for anybody to attain is a good way to do things. Because it's not.
Yeah, it's just exactly. In my opinion, it's just, sure, we have it, sure, it's in the game, and sure, it has a place, so to speak, but it's not well thought out. I don't think it's well thought out design. I think it's bad design, in fact.
It certainly is.
It's more excusable if it's not random, right? That's kind of the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Because I played other games where they have ridiculously long grinds for stuff, but it's not random. You're not going to get by chance. You will get it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the random element just makes it a little less excusable.
One rare item that's meant to be rare, and it is rare. That's just my opinion. Well, all pets are meant to be rare. Like,
Pets
for
are rare,
example,
but this one's the only one that I would consider to be completely
This
unreasonable.
one we shouldn't even say rare. It's not even rare.
It's not
like,
rare. It's unattainable.
It's
For most
stupidly
people.
rare.
Even pet hunters,
that's
it's
our
unattainable
point.
for. The biggest, the most successful pet hunter in the world on Old School RuneScape cannot
That's
get
weird
this
to say.
pet. Yeah. The person who is the closest, the person who has passed the drop rate for this pet still doesn't have it. He's
And
closer than anybody.
we should know his viewers help the shit out of
Yeah,
him.
and he
do
is
these.
given clues by viewers.
He's been donated probably billions of GP at this
I'm
point.
not saying you should develop
in
content
Dragon
with
Age.
pet hunters in mind because they're a tiny percentage, but if the most dedicated pet hunter in the world can't get the pet, it's unattainable and it's badly designed. Period.
Well, unattainable is maybe not the right word because people can't. Let's put it this way: nobody at this point has yet deserved the pet in terms of the rate
Right.
of which it is. No one has yet deserved it, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think everyone that's got the pet is like stupidly lucky, basically. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just it's a little much, basically. And it's kind of weird for Jackets to say, "Nah, we're not gonna look at it." I think they should consider it, especially since they considered the Olmlet pet for the same reasons. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on from this one.
dumb game.
Yeah, fun game, fun life. Can you update the? Well, they're already doing this. The Wilderness Elite Diary. I think it's pretty cool. They're like, "Hey, can we get this?" Yep, it's in the poll. Well, not this poll, but future poll. So, I like that the JMods. This is what's cool about the community, right? And that's the entire reason I picked this question, by the way, is just to brag on the RuneScape community a little bit. Players ask something, and JMods are like, "Yes," and it's in the next poll. I mean, the turnaround can be so quick with a community like this in a team size like this. It's cool. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Just I don't know. Sometimes convincing the JMods something's a problem is like pulling teeth. Ugh. I don't know, but it's cool when stuff like this happens, in my opinion. Yeah, this one's relating to Zay. It says, "Is there going to be something done with Yama, which is a demon NPC at the bottom of that pit we talked about? A boss or a quest, something." And Mod West says, yes, he has plans for it. So,
Good.
okay, of those things, boss, quests, what would you guys like to see?
Boss.
Quest. I'd actually like to see a quest.
I'd actually like to see a quest too. The quest has a boss, Rob. Okay, maybe not. Not all quests have bosses. I don't know. If there was something, I mean, they kind of alluded to some sort of like demon or dark lord or master or something with the Klein of Karen quest.
Mm-hmm.
The guy at the end of it was possessed and he's talking about my master and shit like that. So yeah, if they're opening up like another demon quest line, I'm down. That would be cool. The demon bull guy looks fucking sick. Yeah, he looks like a Capra demon, sort of, from
Dark Souls.
Yeah. Which is a great game, by the way. All right. Here's another one. Why can you combine pizzas but not pies? And JMods jokingly reply, but why not cakes? And I just kind of want to use this to illustrate like kind of how weird and silly this game is sometimes, right? You can put a pizza back together, but you can't put a pie together or a cake. You're just gonna eat the shit anyways, you know? I don't understand.
Like, I don't know why they tried to bring logic into in a game that is so just beyond actual logic. Like, it's literally just a convenience thing. Like, I'd like to see it. Do you know how many wild pie halves I have in the bank that I'm never going to use because it's not worth the inventory spot right now? Because I could rather, take 2, get twice the buff duration.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just weird that you can't combine. It's one of those things that, like, yeah, logically it doesn't make sense, but in terms of gameplay perspective, it does.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes it's best to do illogical things for the sake of gameplay. And this is one of those instances where like they should just do that, I think. I don't know how much of an issue it is for them to code it. Maybe there's some messy code with cakes and stuff like that, but like, you know, eating portions of things.
I doubt it would be that bad.
Yeah, it can't be that bad, right? Because they fixed pizzas.
Yeah, they did that, no problem.
I don't know. I think they should just said, yeah, we can do it, instead of just trolling. All right, so here's one about Fossil Island. Will the fossils have any uses besides unlocking areas and giving you experience? So they have a plan for like an entire fossil economy. They said, I don't know how much detail went into this because I didn't have a chance to watch the entire Q&A. But did either of you guys watch the entire Q&A?
I did.
Okay. Did they go into detail on this for the fossil economy thing?
Nope.
Nope. They just said we have a plan.
They didn't want to give details as it's Maz's project, and no one on the couch was currently working on Fossil Island because Mod Wolf wasn't there, so they didn't want to like make promises that weren't gonna be there.
Fair. Right. I mean, I imagine they're probably gonna have some cool shit you can buy with it. I think it's used to unlock some of the mini games as well, right? Like you can't do mining Todd without paying some fossils to unlock it, right? And shit like that. I think it's just gonna be used to like access content. I think it said it in the dev blog. I don't know, but I imagine when they say fossil economy, I don't necessarily think it's gonna translate to gold, right?
No.
All right. Let's also talk about rune scimitars from Obor. Now, some of the FTP community, I think, asked for this. Like when Obor actually came out, I think this was suggested, and like people have asked cockroaches. People have asked for there to be some way to obtain a rune scimitar in FTP that doesn't involve smithing. Because it's like a 1,300 hour grind if you're an Iron Man.
Yes.
FTP Iron Man.
1,300.
If you're not an FTP Iron Man, but you're just a regular FTP player, it's probably significantly less than that, but still quite a grind to get yourself a rune scimitar in FTP. If you want to, make it yourself, so to speak. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because the FTP Iron Man community stance is basically like, we don't want it. Because rune sword is easily obtainable and is almost the same as a scimitar. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's another thing that just like fucking baffles my mind. You have people in this game, in this community, that are like, no, I want to do 1,300 hours of smithing. Leave it alone. I never in my right mind would willingly accept, hey, you know what sounds like fun? Smithing for 1,300 hours. That's a good time. Yeah.
Well, also, it doesn't sound fun, though. It's 2,000 hours of master clues.
It doesn't, and that's fucking ridiculous. The fact that people are like upset about this proposed change it's fucking mind-boggling to me. Like, if I was a free-to-play Iron Man and I saw that there's an update coming into the game that would save me 1,300 hours of my life, I would get to spend 1,300 hours doing something that was not free-to-play smithing.
Yeah,
I'd be all for that.
Yes.
But people are like, no, it devalues my rune sim.
I mean, because smithing for 1,300 hours is content, man. That's very enjoyable for some people, apparently. I don't know. It's weird. Like, we hear this side of like, don't nerf it. I really like that from certain players, but I haven't really heard the same argument for stuff like master clues and like omelet and like how ridiculous some of like the deck scrolls and stuff like that were. It's weird. I think when it comes to like drops, people generally like want drops to be obtainable, but when it's something that's like, you know, like a skill and goal, something that's not, and we were talking about this earlier, RNG versus non-RNG, right? You feel like you're making progress towards your goal. If your goal is to get your rune scimitar through smithing, sure, it's 1,000 hours, but you can do it, right? You're making progress towards that goal every day. You're getting a little bit closer. You can put a timestamp on it. You say, all right, 52 days from now, I'm getting it, right? You know? Whereas something that's RNG, you can't. You just can't. You can put a expected time on it. You can be like, I don't know, fuck it. I think it might take me like 1,000, and that might take me X amount of hours. Who knows? You kind of got to shrug. You know, like, for instance, when I was getting my Dragon Warhammer, I sat down and thought to myself, I'm like, right, if I go the drop rate, I kill this many, it might take me like a month, you know? It's just, it's that waiting game. It's rough, you know? I think that's why we hear so much more complaint about RNG related stuff. And I think that's why players will jump to defend something like the purity of rune crafting XP or F2P smithing for your rune sim, right? Because there's something concrete about experience gain in this game, I feel like. And I think that's why people jump to defend it. It's, to some people, I think that's actually enjoyable to them.
But see, the thing is, with this, you literally, if you want to, you can still do the 1,300 hours of smithing. You don't have to kill Obor for it.
You absolutely can.
So that it's not devaluing it in that way. They're just bitching and moaning. And I don't understand that. I don't get it.
But I mean, the thing is, like, you know, it's all about like the meta game, right? Like, if you can just have a rune scimitar like that much earlier, you're gonna do it. That's what I think is weird. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, games are supposed to be played for fun, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That doesn't sound like fun to me.
No,
that sounds like you're taking all the fun out of it and bringing it down to a science. Yes. Because it has to be whenever you're putting in 1,300 hours for a fucking rune scimitar. It's only marginally better than a rune sword, which you can buy for 20K.
Right. Here's the thing. This came up in Magic the Gathering too, right? Which is another game I played a lot before I started getting back into RuneScape. And there's this casual versus competitive mindset, right? Casual players want to have fun. Competitive players in Magic the Gathering, we call them spikes, because it's another story. But anyways, spike players just want to kick ass, and that's what they find fun, is winning. They want to win. So the efficiency-minded players in RuneScape are like the spikes from Magic the Gathering. They want to figure out the metagame, and they want to win at the metagame. So
hold on. Moose, if there was something I could kill in the game to get a Fury amulet, I would never train crafting again, ever.
Exactly.
For any reason.
Moose
and
thinks it's inherently a bad thing because
it
devalues something, but the whole devaluing argument doesn't matter because the game should be played for fun.
Only
and some people...
Only you hold value on your achievements.
Exactly.
That's why the argument in RuneScape, to me, is weird, right?
The devaluing is a waste of time to think about. And I think it's not a bad thing to give people options either. Some people who are casual would choose the drop instead of doing the crafting, and that should be that's not a bad thing.
Well, that's the thing. The efficiency-minded players will too, because it saves you time. It's more efficient.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in their eyes, they've currently put in the effort to master the current metagame, and in their eyes, what Jagex would do with a change like this is lower the level of the metagame to a point where it's no challenge, right? So to them, everyone is just as good as they are. It's basically the way they see it. They see, I've put in the time, I've put in the effort, I'm the one who's on top of this game, right? This is the way they see themselves. And for the Jagex to basically say, well, yeah, pretty much everyone can do that now. To them, that you know, that hurts the way that they see the game, the way they perceive themselves as a player and stuff like that. Jagex can never take away their achievement or what they did or whatever. Like, everyone's always going to look at Elegies FTP Iron Man and be like, yeah, he fucking smithed himself a rune sim. That's badass or whatever, right? But there is that argument for devaluing. I don't see it as totally ridiculous because I get that perspective. I was that player in Magic the Gathering. I played the game from a very competitive mindset, and winning was what was fun in that game for me. So looking at it in RuneScape, I look at those guys as kind of like, yeah, I can understand why if something, the meta game, the game that they understand the entire environment of the game of RuneScape, right? If to them something changes that environment, it's kind of threatening to them as a player, so to speak. And I think it's why a lot of people say, no changes, no faster XP, never, no. They understand the game as it currently is, and they want it to stay that way.
I just think that
dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard.
Yeah. I think it's stupid for somebody to be that elitist, because then you're not playing the game for fun if you care about the integrity of the game as it was so much that updates ruin that fun for you. That's not a good thing. I don't understand that mentality, because then you're not suited to play old school RuneScape. You're more suited to play a RuneScape private server from 2007 that literally never changes. And you need to be more realistic about it, because if you want the game to never change because it affects the integrity of the game as it used to be, then you want the game to stagnate and ultimately die. It's
a tough mindset, I think, to mesh with essentially a very casual, friendly MMO, which is what RuneScape is. You're taking this competitive,
this is not
mindset.
Casual friendly at all.
Well, I mean, if you want to just like hop on the game and PVM with friends, which is what most people do in this game, do some Slayer or go boss with their friends, that is about as casual as RuneScape gets. And it doesn't take long to Nightmare Zone up an account, right? And just go do that.
I guess for that, yeah.
I mean, that's when I say like the casual RuneScape player, that's what I'm talking about. Is the people who just go boss with their friends, right? And in that sense, RuneScape is pretty friendly, right? RuneScape has a time investment, but it's not hard to do anything in this game, right? Whereas you take games, more competitive, more skill-based games, right? You take something like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, the competitive aspect becomes a much more viable concern. And that's why you see, people talk about balance and stuff in that game. Like, oh, this makes the game more unbalanced, no integrity, etc. Right? That's a really hard argument to make in RuneScape, I think, because RuneScape is so like, it's a very single player friendly game for an MMO as well.
It is. That's why I really enjoy it.
That's why I really enjoy it as well. It's very single player friendly. To make these arguments in a non-competitive game, I think is tough. But that's the mindset, I think, of these players, is the way they approach the game is from a very competitive mindset. And they brand themselves as such. I mean, they hold competitions for who can gain the most XP and things like that. They're always asking about like, when's the next clan cup, that sort of thing, right? They want to prove they're better than the other clans. They approach RuneScape from a competitive mindset, which is very hard for most people who just play RuneScape for fun to understand. Yeah. And it's why they're so at odds, I think, with the player base, the rest of the players.
I just think that if you let an elitist attitude about keeping the integrity of the game the same, if you let that attitude color your opinion of every change to the point where you don't want other people to get those changes either, because you'd rather the game stay exactly the same as it was, then you're being extremely selfish, and it's not good for the game. You don't care about what's good for the game. You just care so much about how the game used to be.
It's completely ego.
It is.
I think
you're probably the same person that cares about anything getting devalued, and it's just such a selfish view of the game, because you're not the only person playing it, and if it doesn't change, it's going to die eventually, because games need to evolve.
The data supports that if we don't get updates to change the game in some way, make the game interesting, the game does die out. We know this from data we had when the game wasn't getting updates for like a year. The player number plummeted into the ground when the game wasn't getting updates. It was just how it worked. So we know the game needs updates, but at the same time, I can understand a little bit where those efficient players are coming from because they do care about the health of the metagame, so to speak. I don't think they can stop the march forward of the game will get easier over time, just because that is what the majority of the casual player base wants, so to speak. They do want skilling to be easier. Players just want to invest a little bit less time in some very tedious areas of this game. But is F2P the area we need to do that? Is what I say. Here's my argument: do we let this very small niche FTP Iron Man community, which is a small niche of players, do we let them have their day, so to speak? Do we let them? Okay, you guys don't want this. You're the only community really affected by this. Do we let them have it? I think yes.
Now, at the same time, you got to think that like this could just be like the vocal minority of the people that don't want it versus, you know, a lot of the people could be, you know, of the same mindset as me thinking, wow, I don't have to do smithing. Let's take it. You know, but like people often like I praise a lot of updates that come into the game. There are a lot of things that I like, and for pretty much everything in my life, anything I really enjoy, I don't really go out of my way to like make Reddit posts about it saying, holy fuck, this is amazing.
Yeah, true.
I just enjoy it.
But something you're critical of, you're much more vocal about. That's always true.
People will go and, you know, bitch and moan because, well, they're upset, they're frustrated. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I can see the people that don't want it.
But I think the FTP community is just so small. I think it's a very small community, FTP Iron Man community, and that's basically the only players this affects. This is why I wish that poll. Although I mean, you can't pull FTP questions, so that wouldn't even work anyways. But like FTP players can't vote, can they? I don't think so. That you know, players from that community were the only people who could vote on the poll question. I think this is perfect for that, right? That's why I wanted that to pass so badly. Because the only players this affects are such a small community, right? That it just seems weird to ask 30,000 other players to give their input, right? I think this is something Jagex needs to think about very carefully if they're going to poll it.
Moose, you're looking at it from the individual perspective. Yeah, I'm sure Casey would be a little, you know, ticked off if he invested that much time, that much effort, that much, you know, money.
I don't think it would be.
Into, you know, all the pet. Well, I don't know.
I'd be upset too, but not because it devalues the pets I got, but because it's not the right change for the game. Because it's not a reasonable change. It's a drastic change that doesn't need to happen. I think. I mean, I'm not on my own side as just an individual in my thinking about the game. I'm on the side of reason. I think that if changes are good
everyone's
for the player
always
base,
on their own side.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Like as a pet hunter, pet things are divisive for me. But like in general, I'm on the side of what's reasonable for the average player, not just for myself.
This isn't the first time arguments have come up about pet RNG rates. We talked about this with Skatizo as well.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody seemed of the mindset they didn't really care how rare the Skatizo pet was, as long as it came into the game, right? They just wanted it to exist. They didn't care how long it took to get it. I think there should kind of be like a threshold for like how reasonable the RNG is for something. Currently, I can't think of, even as an Iron Man, the only items I can think of that might take as long to get as like a Bloodhound is like shit from Corp, or maybe like a Twisted Bow from Raids if you want to like a specific very rare raid item. That's the only stuff I can think of that might even take as long, and those are like big goals. You know, those are really big goals. So I don't know. There's just, you know, like there's levels, right?
Yeah.
If we had like a rare and like a very rare and like stupidly rare tier of pets, your very rare pets would be like Corp, Penance Queen, God Wars Dungeon bosses minus Bandos. You know, like there's that tier of like very rare pets, and then like way up at the top is Bloodhound. You know, so it's just like the level of separation, the degree of separation is That's basically what we're arguing. The
I
degree
don't
of
know.
separation is just a little
Moose,
bit too much.
I take your point, but it just seems to me that it seems like you're a bigger fan of complaining about the game than you are of actually enjoying what parts of the game you do like. It's just how it seems from my perspective. And I take your point about Casey too. Like, I think the difference is the magnitude, or like the threshold, like Nigel was saying, because if Casey were to get upset about that change, where all pets get easier, it wouldn't make him elitist because it's an unreasonable change. That makes sense. I feel like the things that you get
Yeah,
upset
so
about
change the
are
rate
not
of
reasonable
public
to most
pets.
people.
That's a little much.
I'm not here to suck the game's dick. We all fucking love the game, so
That's why we play it.
Yeah, if you're this upset about changes, devaluing your achievements, and changing the integrity of the game, then yes, guess what?
No,
You're sucking the game's dick too.
that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. All right, what value do you hold in achievements? Because for me personally, all of my achievements that I go for, and one of the main reasons I play Iron Man is because personal achievement. It's what matters to me. I don't give a shit how it looks to anyone else. That's a hands down pride
Here's
thing.
another part
And if
about
your
achievement
pride
too.
is getting the better of you to that degree to where you're like, no, fuck everyone else, let me be, the guy, the best. You gotta show off for everyone, pull out your big penis and smack people in the face with it. You're the one that's taking the dick, man.
Well, here's another thing for me. You bring up a good point about achievement in games. Generally speaking, people don't give a shit if it's something that's a personal achievement, right? Like Lowlander maxing is cool, right? And I care in the sense that like that's a cool event for RuneScape. But do I care about Lowlander's sense of achievement, or if he felt like it was a big deal or whatever? No, I don't give a fuck, right? Because I'm not Lowlander, right? Like I can't care about that. I can't put myself in Lowlander's shoes and feel how he felt. And do I care if some little update devalued Lowlander's feeling of achievement for his Herbler or whatever? No, I do not. What I some updates have come out that have quote unquote devalued things I've done in the game. It didn't change my feeling of achievement.
No, I don't give
because
a fuck.
It's like when you get a pet. Me and Chase had this discussion one time. It's like when you get a pet. He said, somebody came to his chat and said, like, I got this pet. And he was like, oh, well, it was on my friend's account. And so Chase said, well, you didn't really get the pet then, did you? And then to which I said to Chase, I said, no, he got the pet. And here's why. Because most of what matters about getting a pet was that feeling you got when you got the pet. It's the best part of getting it, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same with any achievement. The best part of the achievement is getting the achievement.
And of course,
right?
when I stepped back, I agreed with you because I was just salty that Sam had gotten another fucking pet.
Yes.
Obviously, you're right about that.
But yeah, like it's the same way with like your achievements in game. They're virtual achievements, and really the only thing that matters is how you feel when you get them, right? I don't know. You can't.
It's a podcast, Moose. We get sidetracked literally all the time. What do you mean?
Yeah, our podcast is entirely about talking.
Dude.
So at this point in the podcast, we have nothing else to cover. So we're talking
tangential discussions happen literally every week. So
yes, this is part of our stream every week is to talk to the chat.
I mean,
about
I'm
stuff.
guessing that you're going to take a certain amount of pride in the fact that you've triggered us now too, because it seems like that's the kind of dude you are. And yes, you're entitled to your opinion. We're just saying that we don't agree with it. We think you're unreasonable with the degree of elitist you are. And yeah, of course we can do chat questions. Rob, have we had any yet?
Absolutely. Chat questions.
I haven't been paying attention.
Get your chat questions in starting now. Add them to Vorpal Tongues.
DMC's been asking for like a while. Says, what do you think about my luck with Lizardman Shaman's 31k no Dragon Warhammer? I think you're getting fucked, dude. I think we did the math on this the other day because somebody told me this. And you're like 99.7% to get your item. So, yeah, we were talking about RNG earlier and how it can get a little ridiculous sometimes. Imagine if you were 99% unlucky.
Let me do the math on this here.
On getting do the math on Bloodhound. 99% unlucky on Bloodhound. How long that would take? It would take a long fucking time is the answer.
You average what? Like I'd say 70 per hour?
No, it's not that high. If you're safe spotting, it's like 60 or maybe 55.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's like 1 a minute.
All right, so we'll go 60 then.
Hey, you kill a lot more if you can in them, but
I assume not cannon. Otherwise, you just buy the fucking thing.
Are you doing the math on how much time you spent killing them?
Yes, I am. Because it's fucking ridiculous. At 60 an hour, at 31,000, you've spent 516 hours. 516 hours.
That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be either.
Way too much.
It fucking is. Right. All right.
Okay. Let's do the math on. Say he plays an average of like 5 hours a day. Crunch the number on that. How many days has he played it? That's like 100 days, right?
102.8 days.
Yeah. Oh God. That's so much. 102 days. That's months, man. You've been hunting that for months. When did you start hunting that? If we can just talk to DMC. How long have you been hunting, man?
Yeah, he's been giving me updates about his kill count in my chat for a long time now.
God. 17 hours every day. Oh God.
Fucking disgusting.
No. What is your guys' opinion on a ceiling? Like if you kill 30,000 shamans, chasing the leader just gives you a warhammer. That's like thresholds for pets and stuff like that in RS3. The casual in me is gonna come out here, but I'm okay with thresholds. I'm perfectly okay.
Completely okay with it.
I'm completely okay with it. That's just me. I know not everyone agrees to that. I don't think we're ever gonna pull thresholds. I don't think we're ever gonna get thresholds in old school. But as an idea and like a thing in a game, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with thresholds. Just because, the limits thing we were talking about thing.
You don't appreciate the insults. Who insulted you? Because
He
like
claims
the
that
only
we've
thing
been
that came up
insulting him.
was we said elitist, which is the attitude you're portraying. That's
a
just an
category of
opinion.
players.
It's not
Yeah.
an insult. It's really
I wouldn't consider that an elitist. It's I said you're the one sucking the dick because you said, we were by being upset about all these changes.
That was a joke.
Yes, it was.
I think it comes down to the same argument that I had already, which is you take the game too seriously, and now you're taking our words too seriously. Sorry if it came off that way to you, but we're not insulting you. Our opinions just do not mesh with yours at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're erring on the side of reason. You're erring on the side of
elitism. I understand Moose's perspective because, like we said, we were talking about the competitive thing earlier. I understand his perspective, and I understand why players feel this way. I just have moved away from that as I play RuneScape a little more casually. I don't understand that mindset as much for RuneScape, but I do understand why players have it. I just don't necessarily agree with it for this particular game. Say if we were playing Magic the Gathering and Wizards printed some card that was really overpowered, I would ask them to ban it because that's how you handle something that's overpowered in that game.
See, that is something I completely understand. If it's in a setting like that, I'm all for that kind of thing. But for in a game where you literally spend thousands of hours, multiple thousands of
at the
hours.
End of the day, time is the thing that matters in RuneScape,
yes,
right?
100%. And having where any kind of XP rate modification influences that pretty drastically, just a 1,000 or 2,000, XP an hour increase is massive on the time you save over the long haul. And being elitist to the point where you this is why I can't see this game, appealing to casual people. Because like I said before, if you're, you got 5 hours a day every day.
Casual in RuneScape is something totally different than it is in other games, right? When we say casual players in RuneScape, basically we're talking about the non-competitive crowd, right? Is what we're trying to say. I kind of agree with you in the sense that there's no haha Xbox type of casual players, right? I'm not talking about that. Yeah, like we said earlier, there's degrees, right? There's degrees. It's a scale. I don't know. It's a tough conversation, and it's literally been at the founding of this of old school RuneScape, right?
It has, yeah.
These two groups of players have kind of always been at odds in their opinions of how the game should be done. A more competitive, numbers-oriented crowd, and a more I want to enjoy the game type of crowd, right?
I played World of Warcraft for 6.5 years. And because of that, like it's always in the back of my mind, and I compare things to it a lot, right? And comparing all the time I spent on that game, on all of my characters, last time I checked it was just shy of about 3,000 hours. That is over 6 years. On the account I have right now on RuneScape, I've got about 500 hours past that. And I've only had the account for like a year and a half, where I've taken breaks on it. That is a shitload of time invested into this game compared to a 6-year investment on another game. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, honestly.
And Quaz
I
is
agree.
asking
I
a question,
played-
though, real quick, if I may.
Okay.
Quaz is asking, do we rate casual versus competitive based on how much time they play? And I'd say that you could, but there can certainly be somebody who plays a lot
Time
of
is
hours
just
a
one
day.
indicator.
Yeah, it's one indicator, but there could be somebody who plays a shitload of hours who is a casual player because of their mindset about things. They just
This
they
guy
hop
right
on,
here.
they just hop on, they do what it gives them enjoyment out of the game, and they don't care about maximizing experience or anything like that. I'd
Guess
still
how many
count them as
hours
a
I
casual.
have on my old school RuneScape account in less than 2 years of playtime?
5,500.
That's about right. I've got about 5,000 hours of playtime
Woo.
in under 2 years. I would say that amount of margin, you would think I'm a pretty like serious player, right? No, my efficiency is like way less than that, which I think efficiency is a better indicator of the players that take this game seriously, quote unquote. In terms of efficiency, my account, less than half that time I've played is efficient. So from a competitive player's mindset, I suck at this game basically. Even though I can do all like the 3 ticking and stuff like that, I just don't find it fun for everything in this game. And that's why I don't do it, right? So I don't know. At the end of the day, people are going to do what they enjoy at this game. And I think that's what matters. You know, it's how players enjoy this game. The competitive players don't get this the wrong way. A lot of people think competitive players can't possibly be enjoying this game. They do, and that's why they don't want things to change. That's why they feel so adamantly about the way they do. Sometimes you just got to agree to disagree, you know, because they feel just as strongly about the game in their way that we feel about the game, you know. So I mean, that's just how it is. That's just how it is.
So did we get any chat questions after that?
Yeah, we've actually got a couple. Or actually, I guess they were just comments at me.
Right. Well,
right. You know, I think I want to address what Pathogen said.
Okay.
This game can't possibly appeal to casual players because the time to max your combat, etc., is too time intensive for casuals.
I agree.
Most people can't boss until they hit a certain threshold of stats, and the time to get there's pretty intense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Casual in RuneScape is something different.
Yeah.
Right. Casual in this game is like a mindset. I'd say all players who play this game are pretty dedicated to the game, so to speak. It's the same way in like every MMO. I think every MMO to a certain extent is a time sink. You got to sink a certain amount of time to really get anywhere.
But the scale for RuneScape comparatively is so fucking drastically high.
Oh yeah. Yeah, compared to like every other game I've played.
Yes.
RuneScape's a lot more time intensive. I don't know. Chase, have you played any other MMOs other than RuneScape? Because I played Guild Wars and World of Warcraft. Rob played WoW.
Yeah, I never really got into WoW. I did play a game called Dark Age of Camelot, which was very similar.
Oh, that's actually a really good game.
Yeah,
I heard that's fun.
fucking loved that game. It's pretty much it's like
Age of
similar.
Conan was good.
Similar in quality, similar in scale, similar in style, medieval fantasy MMORPG to WoW. It was really good. I used to play it in middle school, played through for a period of time in high school. I even played. I think I played as recently as like last year because they had like their 15-year anniversary or whatever and offered a free month. Really good game. So yeah, I did play a different MMO, and yeah, I can say that there's never in any other games I've played, there's never been quite the same ravenousness for The amount of
Yeah.
people who are ravenous for maximizing their efficiency in the game, that never happened in Dark Age. People just did
No.
what they enjoyed, and most of the time that was leveling up new characters to max level and then going realm versus realm combat and fighting other people
The
all the time.
closest I ever got to like seeing the level of competitiveness that some people have in RuneScape was in Guild Wars. I was in a guild actually that did elite PVM areas, right? So there's like this idea in the game that like there's these really hard dungeons that you clear basically. And we wanted to do them as fast as you possibly could. So there was an efficiency mindset there. But you know, like we would be in TeamSpeak just like shooting the shit and having a good time and laughing, and we would take time to teach people and stuff like that. So like it was still like way more laid back than you would think. But you know, we did have like that competitiveness with other guilds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For who could get the best times and things like that. So it was like kind of like speed running in that sense. Before like this was way before speed running was like even really a thing, or at least a thing that I knew about. And I'd say that was more in line with kind of like, you know, the efficiency that RuneScape has. I don't know. That's the only I've seen it in other games, but you're right, not to the extent RuneScape has it. There's an entire community in RuneScape of that, and I'd say a large one too. In general, the player base is quite efficiency minded.
I mean, you have to be with how long things take.
Yeah, with just how long everything is.
You don't really have
I
to
think
be,
that's-
though. Like, I
that's true.
maxed my account. I only 3-ticked one skill because I didn't like it for the other ones.
Well, you may not
But
necessarily.
you also
have to
didn't
get
get
the best
99
experience.
hunter catching birds. I mean,
Point
you
taken.
can do anything you want,
Yeah.
but
Well,
you
so what you're
shouldn't.
saying is, you may not have been efficiency minded, but you weren't stupid.
Yes.
I recognize that there is a right way to do things, and I did that. But I didn't care about making sure that while I was doing the right thing, I was doing everything possible to make it faster, because that was less fun for me.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, everyone's efficiency minded to a point.
Yeah.
Players are better educated about what's efficient in the game.
Oh, no,
I guess.
no, not everybody. Fast lane 16.
Oh god,
Dude did Underground Pass with 1 agility and then complained that
he certainly did.
he complained that the quest guide made no mention of the fact that it was an 8-hour quest. And I was like, it's only an 8-hour quest because you're stupid.
Oh,
Because
yes.
you didn't train your agility.
Oh man, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Opinion on a farming guild. What do you think about farming guild? I think here's my thoughts before you guys weigh in.
Okay.
I think we've already got a farming guild. It's Tithe Farm.
Yeah, kind
It's
of.
not like a farming guild per se, but I think it gives you everything you'd want from a
Yeah.
farming guild.
It's like a. It's a weird
I don't know. Maybe
question, because like a guild kind of indicates that it's a place where people can gather in addition to it being themed around that skill.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna hang out at the
Let me
Tide
rethink
Farm
this.
unless they're doing it.
Yeah, no. Let me rethink this.
Okay.
If there were to be a farm, I think players want out of like a farming guild isn't. I'm thinking just from like you get the outfit, it kind of already gives you something cool, right? I think if we were to get a guild, it would have some unique patches, right? Where maybe you can only plant certain things. In addition to adding extra patches for stuff we currently have, right? And maybe there are some things you can only grow in the farming guild. So there's like one patch in the whole game where you can grow this thing or whatever. And there's like NPCs that maybe sell some low tier seeds or something like that. And have them charge like an exorbitant amount of gold for it.
That's a kind of cool
You
idea.
can buy as many
actually.
maple seeds as you want for 50,000 gold apiece, you know.
Yeah.
Um
I like the idea of having a dedicated plant or farming patch in the farming guild. That'd be kind of cool.
yes, I think that would be. What would they put in there? Buchu. I want farm Buchu in the overworld. I want to make my
Nox.
fucking overloads.
That's how you make overloads. Get the Noxifer
That's
going.
right, baby. They need to bring raid farming out of raids and into the overworld.
Dead weighted plant.
Dedicated point. I don't know. Is there anything you guys can think to add if we were to get a farming guild? Anything I mentioned that you guys would like to see? Like anything more than that? Where would you put it?
I mean, Hosidius does make sense.
It makes
for a farming
sense.
guild, but I don't know.
We already got the woodcutting guild though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really care enough about having a farming guild to think about it any further.
Put it in the wilderness.
Your plants die, and so do
farming
you.
Guild. Oh man. I think, in my opinion, every guild should have something dedicated, right? Every guild should have something. You should have a reason to go to that guild, to do the thing that's in the guild. In my opinion.
Guess so.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Wilderness farming is actually kind of like a good question. If there was something that you could farm in the wilderness, what would you want it to be?
Dead trees. They grow dead.
They grow dead. Grow like some uber nightshade. A higher tier of weapon poison. A weapon poison that venoms. That would be fucked up. It's got like charges. It's got like a dragon dagger venomed and it's got like charges on it. Gross. Yeah, let's not add that on second thought. PKing would be so AIDS.
Where if the tree dies, you get the XP, and if it grows, you don't.
Reverse farming.
You can have like a compost that's bad for the tree to help it die.
Oh man. All right. And let's see. I got whispered a question as well up here. Do you think they should hide the results of polls? We've covered this on the polls. We did a podcast about the poll.
Rob's face right now.
Oh god, yeah. This question's kind of like, oh. Yeah, we think abso-fucking-lutely they should hide the results of the polls. It's really dumb that Jagex doesn't do this, actually. Yeah, and we think it was stupid that they even let the community vote on it.
Yep.
They should have just implemented it. We think. Because if you think the poll system is flawed, why are you putting in changes to the poll through the poll system if you think there might be a problem with the poll system as it currently sits?
It's like, hey, America, do you want to change how the Electoral College works? Go out and vote at your local polling station for it. Oh,
no,
look, it didn't change.
It's even worse than that. It's even worse than that in the United States. You think there's a problem with the Electoral College? Well, how about you elect a shitload of representatives that want to change it and then try to pass it through 2 fucking houses? And then if it doesn't get challenged by the judicial branch and the president actually wants to sign it, sure. Oh, no, wait. Isn't it? I don't know. Is the Electoral College? It's not. Never mind. I was like, the states don't have to ratify.
Come to America. We'll checks and balances the fuck out of you.
God, man. In a lot of ways, the RuneScape polling system is bad, but in some ways, at least it's not, like your state government, right? Like, fuck.
Setting the bar a little low. At least it's not like real government.
Well, in real government, we only need a 51%. Man, think of all the shit that would be in the game right now if you only needed like a majority.
I think that's how it should be, realistically.
I think 50% is too low, just because
people. I think it seems like it might be decent in theory, but the problem is that there's still so many people that don't take the time to actually read the questions properly before voting.
Yeah.
I think like 60%.
And there's so many people that might vote with an agenda for something that's bad for the game because Jagex is stupid and pulls stuff like that. Do you guys remember when they pulled removing Nightmare Zone? Like the AFK Nightmare Zone stuff?
Yeah, I do.
And AFK splashing? Sometimes Jagex just doesn't fucking know what's good for the game, or just thinks maybe we'll get the blessing of the community on this one, Sometimes I feel like the polling system should really 66% I think is a good margin, by the way. Sometimes I feel like certain things Jagex should just priority poll and be like, what do you think of this? They're like some issue or problem or something they're thinking about putting in the client or whatever. They're like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And Jagex can kind of gauge the response of the community. And once they've come up with a response, they decide whether they're going to do it or not. When it's a thing that's game integrity, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And can we not say the fucking polling system, the entire direction and focus of what comes into this game, is that not like one of the most integral parts of old school RuneScape?
Yeah, that was dumb.
So I think they should have just put their foot down and said, game integrity. Sorry, you're getting it. That's what I think about that. Let's take a look here. See what else we got from the chat.
Wow.
What's up?
Oblivion's new requirement.
Say a look at this from Finn.
You have 1 month to get the Inferno Cape or you're kicked out.
Oh, holy shit.
Damn.
Wow.
Well,
speaking of elitism.
I don't feel like, okay, this brings up a good question. Do you guys really think it's going to be that hard to get?
No.
I think for like the first 3 days it will be, but like I view it a lot
kind
in
of
the way
similar to raids.
Yeah,
right.
Like it's gonna have a base difficulty just because nobody knows anything about it. But once things are learned and you know mechanics, it's gonna get drastically easier, just because you know what to do.
Yeah, I think
so. For the first couple of days, it will be difficult, but after that initial period, I think it'll be easily doable.
Yeah, I think if you can't get it for a month, it's probably not a result of the content being overly difficult. It's because you either didn't really try to get it done within a month,
because you suck.
Yeah, or your account's not up for the challenge.
I mean, Oblivion's a PVM oriented clan. If you're in Oblivion and you can't get yourself a killing game in 30 days, you probably don't belong in Oblivion. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Or stud unit or whatever PVM clan. Crack the Clue. What are your guys' thoughts on Crack the Clue? We haven't covered this one in a while, I don't think. Or ever, maybe.
I don't think we've ever covered it.
I don't think we've ever talked about Crack the Clue. All right, let's hear it.
Who wants to go?
Never.
Okay, well, we'll start with this. Do you think they should just like give way more hints about Crack the Clue? It's been like over a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people have just stopped caring. Like me.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those things that's like, it's just a meme now. It's like sailing.
It's like, yes, Jagex, we recognize that you can be clever. You can make things that we can't figure out, but please just fucking tell us already. We're done with it. Even Wooks has given up.
Get it.
Even Wooks stopped doing streams of trying to crack it, so let's move on.
People have created entire programs that check the world map for things that match up to like the templates, right? Mm-hmm. People made a tree checking program that checks the trees on the map that match up with the trees on the clues when you arrange them in certain patterns.
Wooks did a stream today about it. Oh, fucking never mind then.
Oh my god, man! It's like
I'm just waiting for someone to make like a bot farm that just like each bot has like a grid of squares that they're supposed to go and dig at.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And eventually they're just gonna hit every tile in the game and find it.
There's no value in solving it. There is a value in solving it. You get to be RuneScape famous, basically.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could launch a streaming career off that.
Bits.
Kappa. Actually, no Kappa. You probably could launch a streaming career off that.
I'm sure you could.
I'm pretty sure you could. You gotta be E-famous.
Yeah.
Not as nearly as cool as being actually famous, but you gotta be E-famous. Meaning people recognize you at your local Denny's.
It's like
maybe.
E-dating. Dating, but less good.
Dating, but like worse. Budget dating.
Budget dating.
Digging is not the first part of the final clue, so bot farm is not possible? Is it not?
Really?
Then what the fuck do you do for it?
Well, people were just trying to figure out the area that you might, You have to do it like an emote and then dig or something. There's more than just digging to it, but people are doing that to find the location in which they might perform various activities.
That's odd, considering every other piece is just a dig. Like, has it been confirmed that it's an emote, or you need a certain item for it, or is it just speculation? It's like I would assume it would be in line with the other pieces.
It's confirmed that they said that you have to do more than just dig. Like there's more than just digging involved. I believe Matt. There's a whole subreddit dedicated to this guy. It's called r/crack the clue, and they've got like a whole thing on the sidebar that says everything we know is actually a thing so far. So you can get yourself up to speed with like if you actually care about crack the clue, you can go to their subreddit, you can learn about just stuff, and then discuss in threads various conspiracy theories. Pretty much.
I didn't even know
goes
that
on
about
over
it.
there.
Like that's how little I care. I didn't know that you couldn't just dig for the final step.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh yeah, they've given out very sparse details on what you can do. Crack the clue is full of conspiracy theories. Yeah, pretty much. What if it doesn't exist, man? What if you just get in trouble by Jagex?
What if when it's
man?
done, the final shape can be connected into a triangle on the world map?
Oh. What if they never showed us the model for the helm of Raidwald and it just looks like shit? I'm pretty sure somebody like data mined it. So like you can see what it looks like.
I don't fucking
Right.
know.
I have no idea. Because like you can just do that, right? Like you can just data mine like all the stuff that's in the in the game.
You can see what it looks like on the wiki.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, probably looks like the helm on the statue. This is Raidwald shit.
So
You have to white knight Emily on Twitter to receive a hit from Modmac K. Tweet at Emily with the hashtags Emily is the key.
he is watching.
Oh my god. That's brilliant.
Top quality.
That's
memeing
how
as
that's how
usual.
we're gonna solve crack the clue, guys. Holy shit. Oh. Right. I had a question earlier. Let me find it. Right. Here's one I got in a whisper. Do you think Jagex are releasing content too quickly? Or do you like the pace that the game is currently at?
I think I like the pace it's at. Like I
I
wouldn't even mind
yeah.
if it was a little bit more quickly on certain things.
Yeah, exactly. On certain things, I would like if it was quicker. Like the turnaround on like certain like PVM content and things like that.
Or quests.
Yeah, quests, definitely.
quests.
More quests. I would be okay with more quests coming into the game. But certain things like skilling and stuff like that, I feel like we're getting very saturated in terms of, the amount of options every skill has at this point. Like, for instance, the update we're getting from mining, we discussed that the whole mining Todd thing. It almost doesn't even have a niche in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's very slim, Are we really getting to that point where, like, we're just kind of doing stuff to do it, For some stuff, it does kind of feel like that, really. Like, we're just filling gaps that barely exist in some cases, I feel. So,
we have to though. So we
Yes.
can't get new skills to pass. People won't, pass on increasing, other stuff in skill trees beyond what we already have. So there's no room to go up. You just have to fill what's below 99 already. And it's not easy to do that without, people also bitching and complaining about new XP rates. So without new actual tangible new content, no, we're left to fill little niches until we're out of them.
I think that's a failing of the polling system, really.
It 100% is.
Mm-hmm. That we can't get groundbreaking content because for whatever reason, 75% is what we want. And I think it's tough to get 75% of the player base to trust Jagex with what's essentially going to be groundbreaking. It's going to completely change the face of the game. As big as any update like Raids ever did. Potentially more, A new skill would certainly do that. So it's hard for Jagex to ask the players, let us pass a new skill. That's tough. Yeah, I don't think people trust Jagex to do that. Or at least not 75% of the player base.
Ben says, do you think in 2025 Jamflex will release, or Jagex will release, my bad, Jamflex, Old School RuneScape 2017? It's like another old server state 8 years from now.
Geez.
Yes, but it'll be called old school, or old school RS.
I think what we'll get, we've got RuneScape Classic, got Old School RuneScape, got RuneScape, also known as RS3, I think what we're gonna get is like,
RuneScape Classic
not-
2.
No. What's another word for like old?
Annotated?
RuneScape
Ancient?
Vintage. We'll get RuneScape
Oh.
Vintage.
Back
I
in
don't
my
know.
dayscape.
RuneScape Legacy. Actually, we can't do that. They've already got
Yeah,
Legacy,
Legacy
mode
mode.
for. Yeah, we can't do that. Damn it!
Newer old
They
school.
thought of everything.
I
Post
don't know why
EOC.
people don't
Post
trust
EOC.
Jagex.
Uh,
Like I
can
get they
understand
fucked
why.
up.
why don't they trust Jagex?
It's not. For me, it's not even the EOC thing. For me, it's just how some updates in this old school have turned out. Not quite as players had expected it. Like raids released. I was actually pretty pissed at Jagex because of how they implemented the drop tables and so forth, and just how not quite well thought out it was for some things. Like for instance, yeah, you could raid as an Iron Man, but you wanted to shoot yourself in the fucking leg when you did it. You know.
Yeah, but they've amended that.
Yes, they have amended those things, and that's why I think, it's Jagex generally makes good on their mistakes at this point in time.
Bloodhound.
Yeah, okay, some of their mistakes, if you consider that one a mistake, some players do, some players don't. I think here we all kind of view it as what the fuck are you doing, Jagex? But yeah, it just seems like a lot of things get kind of like. It was clear, like Zaya was rushed, and it took a long time to fix.
Yes.
If a new skill gets rushed or something doesn't come out quite right, how long might that take to fix, and how much damage might it do to the game? So I can understand players being very wary. I don't know, maybe there's a beta test or something for it. Like they are inviting players to the studios to do beta tests for like Inferno and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for like the new skilling content, I think as well. So,
I mean, people making the comparison to RS3 though, Ben, like they know that this game is different. They know their player base. At least I believe so.
The mindset of the developers is also very different.
Yes, it is. Like they know what old school is and what it's meant to be. And I completely trust that they'll do the right thing if given the opportunity without worrying, holy fuck, we're gonna fuck it up, they're gonna flame us. God almighty in heaven, holy shit, Reddit's gonna have a field day with this, man. Don't fuck it up, guys. We gotta get it right. Okay? We can't, no. They're coming. The fedoras, man. They're just
The fedoras.
the Reddit. Oh, like if they're not worrying about every single little move they make, I think they would do a much better job, and things won't be nearly as terrible.
If I was a Jagex dev, Cheeto stains and fedoras would probably haunt my dreams. Actually,
Oh hell yeah!
yeah. Reddit's a scary place, man.
Like the J mods are persecuted daily for the
It's like
smallest
a
things.
witch hunt, man.
It is.
Oh, on Twitter as well. It's really
Yeah,
bad.
it's everywhere. Every social
Let's
media
put it
outlet
this
they
way.
have.
It's the pros and cons of being so involved with the community of your game, which I think is good. I think it's awesome because like another community I think is really great, and I'm really excited to be a part of when Destiny 2 releases is Destiny's development team. They're super involved with their community, but they deal with the same shit. The more involved you are with your community, the more okay your community is going to give you feedback like "fuck you, Jagex," like stuff like that. I think it's good ultimately, but damn, if I was a JMod, I'd have some like fucking, I'd have some issues, I think, with dealing with all the shit on social
You'd
media.
have a rage wank once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. or I don't know, I'd probably drink more or something. maybe that's why like some of the JMods just look like they've had like a really rough day. Maybe they had to read their Twitter feed
because they're fucking sauced on the Q&A.
Yeah.
The only way I can deal with
remember
the
they
chat.
put in a bar. They put in a bar at Jagex.
Did they?
Yeah.
They have a bar now.
They put in a pub.
Like in the studio.
I wasn't there when we visited.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, it all makes sense. It's all coming together. I'm pretty sure, like after one of the Q&As, or maybe it was like something on Twitter. I'm pretty sure one of the JMods said like, I think somebody posted something on Twitter and they asked like, "Why are you still at work?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm about to go turn up at the pub."
Yeah.
It makes sense. It all makes sense.
This was the end game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Finn's got a question for us. Sorry, I missed your whisper, Finn. Let me scroll. How far back was it? Oh, basically, Finn said, if you guys are gonna have a PVM podcast about the Inferno, like after it releases, do you want to get some members of Oblivion on to talk about it?
Now, Finn, do you mean some or do you mean you?
Co-leaders, he says. Leaders in Oblivion.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I guess
Depending
so.
on who they are, yes, and how talkative they are, and who we know. Because I know some people from Oblivion, but not everyone. But yes, we are willing to have guests on.
Who co-leads Oblivion? I don't even fucking know.
No idea.
I know people in Stud. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Anyways, yeah, no, we definitely are down for having guests. Just have them hit us up, and we will see.
You got the question from Pathogen there, Nigel?
Yeah, I'm just had to burp a little bit. What do you guys think about
Inexcusable.
reversing an update if post-update people don't like it? You can't put the cat back in the bag, so to speak.
I think.
Once the damage is done, the damage is done.
Yeah, and
You can only patch.
I think patching is probably better than like backpedaling entirely. But I also hope that the system they have will stop anything from getting into the game that was so bad or so broken that it would need removing anyway. I would hope that that would never happen to begin with.
You would think that, but allow me to weave you a tale. I know we've already talked about Magic the Gathering a little bit too much today, but allow me to weave you a tale of a game that I used to play called Magic the Gathering. Recently, the creators of this card game made a very bad error, which they did not catch, which they very much should have. They printed 2 cards together, which allowed a 2-card infinite combo that cost you a grand total of 4 mana, so you can play it on turn 4. Which is real bad, because this was in Standard, which is supposed to be the most low power format that they have. So basically, it's like the equivalent of Jagex, like accidentally putting like some gold dupe in the game. And here's the worst part: these cards weren't banned for a year. This has currently ruined Magic's current Standard, which is at the worst level of attendance it's been in a very long time. And they somehow let it go on for a year before they were sufficiently okay with like, okay, now we can get rid of it, because they banned it just last week. And I'm finally considering maybe playing Magic again. So things can slip through the cracks. But I agree that like they would patch. They can't. I don't think they would roll back. It would have to be something very, very game breaking for them to roll back.
Yeah.
MMOs are not like card games. You can't just ban it and be done with it. It's not how it works. Infinite cats? Yes. That's what it did. You made infinite cats. They were 3/3 cats, I think. You made a lot of cats and killed your opponent with many cats. Pretty cool. It was actually a pretty cool deck, but it shouldn't have existed. Anyways.
Has there been an update in the game that like unanimously people like didn't give shit for? Like they enjoyed it like across the board? I can't think of a single update that's come into the game that JMods didn't get persecuted for.
Well, there's always going to be some vocal minority that's going to complain about something. You can what's the saying? You can never please everyone, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say shift click to drop, but no. Quality of life is really the only thing I can think of. Like, there's probably some quality of life stuff where everyone is just like, yeah. Like, I don't know, like right click to teleport to 2 different locations, right? Like, for instance, Sears Bank. You can do Camelot or Sears Bank. Like, right click to teleport that. Who the fuck would say no to that? You know? Like, who really gets their panties in a bunch? I really like going through the extra menu. Thank you. Yeah. Although it still astounds me that people get upset about the Ferroceptor options. They can't change the ordering of the Ferroceptor options because you have to both wield the item, use the item, examine the item, and all the teleport options. So they can't possibly change the order of what the options are, right? Because there's only so many options that they can do on the item. And like the wield, use, and examine items, like have to be in certain locations on the options on the item or something like that. So they can't change the order, and people get so pissed about it. You know,
Isn't the left click on the Ferroceptor a teleport?
it's a teleport.
Not a wield?
Yes,
And they can't change
it's
that?
not. No.
Huh.
Apparently, it's because like those because of the type of item it is, the wieldable item or whatever. It just some of the options are just fixed. They just can't change it. It would require changing too many other things, right? You mean the gold dupe? There have been gold dupes in the game, yes, and they didn't roll back for those. I mean, I think if they put on an update and they found out within like 10 minutes of the update that there was a very egregious gold dupe, I think they would roll back 10 minutes. They would. I
would assume so.
I don't know, cold fix the game with a rollback or something. Haven't they done a rollback once?
Yes. I don't remember why, but I was actually
There
playing.
was very
at the
bad
time.
server issues, I believe.
They
No,
what?
they don't have the technology to roll back.
It may not have been intentional, but I did play old school, and there was a rollback. I think it may have been intentional. But it
was a server-wide rollback when I was playing.
And I remember distinctly, I was in the Dagonoth area under the lighthouse. I think I was doing Slayer or something at the time, and the next day I had all my progress that task the night before a reset or something. Like I had no longer gained a level or whatever. It was the most bizarre thing.
I agree with Scorch in the chat. It was very recently during some like the really bad server troubles. I disconnected.
Well, then there's been two.
I disconnected.
Couldn't
ago. Access the game for a good period of time, maybe like 5-10 minutes. Reconnected to the game, and I was somewhere I was not previously. And it was a rollback. The entire world DC'd out. And didn't have it. The world actually crashed, and it didn't have a chance to save the progress of any of the players or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so my account was actually somewhere it was not previously. It was somewhere where it was a little bit before.
I don't remember that happening recently, but the one I'm talking about was like in the first year of Old School's existence, because I made my account day one. Sometime during the first year, there was something similar where there was never any announcement about a rollback, but I had lost like an evening's worth of progress the next day.
Yeah, because I mean, like the way it works, right, is like the game world is like hosted on some computer, right, and it backs up every player's progress when they're doing things. When the server updates, right. So if the server gets like DDoSed or crashes for some weird reason, it may not save your progress from like the last couple things you did. Or whatever, or it may lose it.
I'm reading about it now. It was an unintentional rollback. When the servers were being DDoSed, it didn't sync across all the worlds. Mm-hmm. It's like if the world you were on was DDoSed and it went down, you got rolled back unintentionally.
Yeah, I couldn't access the world. Yeah, I actually couldn't log into any world while my account was in that state. And it was for like 10 or 15 minutes or something. I just couldn't play. So yeah, it happens. Here's the thing: Jagex does have the technology to roll back. They just don't. And I kind of agree with their stance that they really shouldn't. Mm-hmm. That is a lot of overhead for them as a company to have to go through, and they got to get a support team to do it and stuff like that. Jagex, old school team, likes to keep it low to the ground. They don't want a big team. They've stated that many, many, many times. They feel like it lets them develop the game better to have a smaller staff. So their stance of like no rollbacks is really just a good way for Jagex to save money, so to speak. But don't let them fool you. They have the technology to roll back accounts. They just won't. And that's just their stance. That's their stance on the game. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. Just not excited when I get hacked and lose all my shit. So we talked about this earlier too. This game's such a fucking time investment. You think of all games, this game would have it, but
yeah, it should. It
I think so, too.
100% should.
I think Jagex should just bite the bullet and invest in that. I mean, if World of Warcraft can do it, surely
Yeah.
RuneScape can.
Does RS3 have rollbacks yet?
I have no idea.
They have the technology for it, sure. I just don't know if they do it. I think it's maybe just like a stance as Jagex as a company, just they don't want to do rollbacks.
I don't know.
Maybe
why
for a game of their size, there's no way they can profit on it or something.
But like my thought process is like if I busted my ass for a couple thousand hours of my time, got all this good shit, and some Asian 14-year-old was like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck your shit up, bye," and all my progress is just gone.
On this week's
I'd
episode,
probably
we're
not
offending
play
Asian
it again.
14-year-olds.
Like I don't think I'd come back. Like if I got hacked on RuneScape right now, I'd probably quit.
Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest reasons, and Jagex has admitted this themselves. That's why they push account security so much and like authentication and all that stuff. Is the biggest single source they have of long-term players quitting the game is getting hacked. Losing your account is the biggest reason people quit. It's not because they don't enjoy the game. It's not because they find something else to do. It's because they got hacked and they don't want to play anymore. They don't want to invest the time. So yeah, I mean, I agree. For that reason alone, maybe rollbacks are worth it. Maybe they would retain more players.
They would.
Yeah, I think they would too. But at the same time, I think RWT would be a little bit worse for it. Maybe they need to improve their monitoring a little bit better before they start offering it. But because I mean, in WoW, it was such a thing that people would abuse like rollbacks and stuff like that, and then RWT, oh, my buddy hacked me for all my shit, sold it, I get all my shit back, sell my shit again, that sort of deal.
Yeah, but they would also take the monetary gain from any of the accounts that was traded with.
Yes.
Like unless it was deleted, like your gold got returned to you, they took it off other accounts.
Yeah.
So like in that regard, if you bought the stolen gold, well, that's on you when it gets taken back. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Pathogen. I think their support tools and stuff are lacking in RuneScape. So I don't know. I think they have to make improvements before they can offer it. Are you excited for OSRS's bot busting streams?
Oh, kind of.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember watching one a long time ago, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're always fun.
Yeah.
I would have no complaints about watching bot busting.
What I would like to see is how they did like every time a new boss would come out, a couple weeks later they'd do like the the 1,000 chest count and show the loot or like whatever. I'd like to see that for raids.
Loot from 1,000 raids.
Yeah.
We've kind of already seen that. There was one guy who posted on Reddit his loot from 1,000 raids. Although he didn't have every reward in there. So
yeah,
he just had like the supplies and stuff.
I'd like to see it.
I would like to see it too.
Like officially.
I gotta whisper on the topic of hacks. Do you think you should make a delay on disabling your authenticator? I think there should be a 1-day delay. Personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
An optional 1-day delay.
Yep. That'd be good.
If there's a 3-day to 7-day delay on removing your bank pin, there should be one on removing your authenticator.
Yeah. Good point.
I think bank pin's still the most important part of not getting hacked. If you don't have a bank pin, Jagex has made it super easy to use your bank pin. They've done everything they can to make the bank pin more accessible. Use a fucking bank pin.
Bank pins don't matter though. There's a guy on Twitter. He had the RSN Wilson.
Yeah.
Not Dead Wilson, but just the RSN Wilson.
The alive one.
I know the guy.
Yeah, he got hacked for 40 bill on OSRS.
Good
He
Lord.
was away from the game for a bit. 40 billion. That's like $40,000. USD.
Well, given enough time, someone can get through your bank pin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bank pin would protect us because we play every day.
Yes.
The bank pin is still very
maybe
important.
You do.
Okay, you
I think
noticed before the week was up.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. if I had 40 billion gold on my account, I would do more than just trust my bank pen. I would trust the bank pen of multiple accounts, and I would spread my wealth out to multiple accounts if I'm going to be away from the game for a very long amount of time. That's what I would do. But
But the point is, you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to, no, but it's the reality of this game. This game has a lot of hackers, more than any other game I know.
Yeah.
The RWT community in this game is strong. And that's kind of depressing if you're a player of this game, but the reality is that this game has a lot of hackers, has a lot of people who want to steal your shit and sell it for real life money. You know, a lot of scammers. Something about this game that attracts miscreants, you know? And this game's kind of always been that way.
Have I ever told you guys about the time I RWT'd on WoW and I got invited into the guild of the gold sellers?
No, please tell me this story.
All right, there was this website that I was like 12. No, I was like 13 or 14 at the time.
So you thought you were like a badass.
Yeah. And like I was 13, really bad at the game. This was back in Burning Crusade, so gold wasn't something that was easily obtainable.
Yeah, so like BC, back when the game was still good.
Yeah, like back when it was in its prime. I bought gold by the thousands, and I'd buy mounts and cool cosmetic shits. I had the money to blow at the time, and I bought so frequently that I got really good. Well, not really good, but like I became friends with like the customer support lady. Be like, all right, come here, meet here, trade. The person that pop up in the window, and I was like, you know what? Like you guys should like help or let me help you market your gold. Like I'll hit up some of my friends, and I'll get them to invest. And she was like, oh, that's a great idea. You should make a new account and you can help us. And so I did, made a fresh level 1 account, got invited into the guild, and I immediately went there and cleaned the bitch out. And then I left and traded over like an extra like 60,000 gold. And there wasn't a damn thing they could do about it.
Well, so they let you access the guild stash or like the guild bank or whatever.
Yeah. It was free to everyone.
Oh my god, they didn't have permission set up.
No, and I just cleaned the bitch.
Jesus.
Rob's a savage. That's why it's a good thing he plays Iron Man, because don't fucking trust him with your stuff.
I wouldn't trade Rob a goddamn thing. Jesus.
That's funny.
You were a mean little 12-year-old.
Fucking was, dude.
You know how hard those RWTs worked for all that money? They probably bought it the fuck out of that, dude.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Like back in
botting.
BC, 60K was a lot.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I played back during vanilla like BC times. I know how much money that was.
Yeah.
That's intense, dude. That's intense. Oh man. It's a good time. I don't think I've ever done anything like that bad.
I think we need to start wrapping up, by the way. Just
yeah, we've been
almost
going
at
for
the
a
3-hour mark.
Yeah, that's usually the time where we're like, oh, look at the. We'll get Chase's perspective on this one. What is the worst thing I've probably done to someone in a game before?
Worst thing I've ever done to somebody in a game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. At first I was like, I didn't do anything. I'm the best. But now there's something. So it was actually in RuneScape, pre-EOC. Okay. And I hope that the person I did this to never finds our stream.
Never watches.
Because it was not a good thing to do. It was not done to a stranger. It was done to a friend. Okay, hang on. So I've always loved questing, and as you guys probably know from playing old school, the majority of the player base does not love questing. And even back in the day, I loved questing, and none of my friends did. So sometimes I would do quests for my friends, and one of the times somebody came to me and said, "Hey, will you do a lot of questing for me?" I was like, "Sure." And of course, occasionally I would make some money from it, and that was all above board. Like my real life friend, my current roommate Nate, I used to quest for him, and he'd pay me like 10 mil or whatever. That was fine. But this person came up to me and was like, "Hey, I hate questing. I'm this close to a quest cape," and I made a list of all the quests that she needed. And I'd been in her the same like clan as her back in high school or whatever, and we were pretty good friends. And she was like, "I'll give you 90 mil to finish off all the quests that I have left for the quest cape." And I was like, "Sure."
Oh my God.
So I got the 90 mil, and the thing was, she was a good friend of mine, but she was also dating, like e-dating, one of the top ranked players in the game at the time, whose username was owned with like a bunch of spaces in it. And I'd kind of like, I'd never really gotten to know him, but the thing was, this girl was very sweet, very nice girl, but she was like set on RuneScape because she was e-dating this guy. So like I got the money, like the payment for doing her questcape from him. So I was like, okay, she has as much money as she needs because she just gets it from this Max guy, right? So then after I was done getting her questcape, I also took everything that was in her bank and gave it to my account.
Oh, that's rough.
To pay for my 99 prayer.
Okay, I've got 2 stories of like the worst shit I've ever done. One of them is just me being a dick because it was fun because of the context of the game. Diablo 2, okay? Diablo 2 ladder. If you guys have ever played Diablo 2 ladder, you know what I'm about to say, which is I played Diablo 2 ladder. I went to games with hardcore players because I like to play on hardcore ladder with a very high level hardcore player, and I PvP'd, which is a big no-no. You don't do that. That's really mean. So I had like a really like badass hardcore barbarian, whirlwind barb, and I would PK poor noobs trying to do bail. So I'm a bad person.
You're a dick.
Yeah, that's really mean. Don't do that. People don't like you. But this was back when like there was a big D2 community. So like some people knew I was a dick, but like not everyone. If you were to go do that now, you would be like blacklisted so hard because there's not as many people that play D2 now. Yeah.
I like how Rob called you a dick for that, but you guys didn't say a word about me being a dick for what I said.
No, yeah, what you did was wrong.
Oh, it was one of those things that like I was super jazzed about getting my 99 prayer faster at the time, but like I actually legitimately regretted it later because I felt really bad.
Another thing I've done that I'm not proud of. I was like, remember I was talking about the kind of like competitive speedrunning Guild Wars stuff?
Mm-hmm.
We were not the only guild doing that, right? There were other guilds, other speedrunning guilds. Not proud to say that I was an officer in the guild that I was in. And one thing they had us do, one of the members from other guild came to our guild and said some very rude things to people. So I was recruited as a member to that guild, stayed in their guild for some period of time till I was convinced them to promote me to the rank of officer. And then I did what is called spiking a guild. I kicked literally every member. And they had a 100-man guild, which is a full guild. I kicked like 90 something players.
Oh my God.
It's called spiking a guild.
Oh man.
And it's the thing that people did in that game when you really fucking don't like someone. So
look at Rob.
Probably the worst thing I've ever done in a game is spiking an entire guild. That does get you kind of blacklisted in that game. But at the time, it was one of those things that it was like, there was a lot of people playing the game at the time. So like not that many people knew about it. These days, if you were to spike a guild, people would know. No one would like you.
Yeah, I kind of don't like you just hearing that.
The guy was an asshole and we didn't like their guild.
Yeah.
Basically he got invited to our guild and just like, just fucked with us and just said rude shit. And I mean, like, all their members were kind of like that. Like, their officers and their leaders were dirty.
Then fuck them.
Yeah, so I made a new account, got invited to their guild, managed to get officer because I knew what I was doing. Of course, I was in another speed clan guild. Of course, I knew what I was doing. Convinced them I was officer material and then spiked their guild. Yeah.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. It was not nice. Let's put it that way.
No, it wasn't. Like, but also, it's like mine. There's like a little asterisk next to it. Like, I would never have done what I did to this girl if she didn't have unlimited funds from her e-date boyfriend, who played way too many hours, even back in the day.
Yes.
I would have been like, this is not going to hurt her at all. So,
but like, she probably didn't give a shit about RuneScape and just cleaned her bank. Oh,
no, she was a sweet girl. I do feel bad. Her name was Meg.
Was she hot?
Shut up, Meg.
That's what I should have been like when she was like, so, did you clean me?
Question mark?
Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh, D3 is really fun. I think if I were to get back into another action RPG, I'd probably play Path of Exile. I like Path of Exile a lot. It's a cool game. I think if I were to stream another game, I'd probably stream Path of Exile. Or
Yeah.
Destiny 2. I think I'm probably going to stream Destiny 2 when it comes out on PC.
I'm definitely streaming it.
Oh,
I
my
regret
God,
to
I'm so
inform the two of you I won't be playing it on PC, but I will be streaming the
No.
fuck out of it anyway. No, I won't.
console pleb. What
Yes,
if I
you will.
pay for your copy of Destiny 2 and you play it sometimes?
Well, then I would have to play it because you would have paid for it.
Yeah, there we go.
He'll pay for your base copy. I'll cover DLC.
See, here's the thing, actually. Here's another thing that I didn't really consider. That is, all the top Destiny streamers play on both platforms. They all have it for Xbox One and PS4, and they alternate. They have their preferred console, but they go back and forth so that they're inclusive of both platforms and subs who want to play with them. And at the time, I was obsessed with Destiny, but I could only play it in my evenings. But if I continue being able to be a full-time streamer, I actually wouldn't really have a problem going for like a lot of achievements on both platforms and playing the fuck out of it on two systems.
If Destiny 2 is as good, if it's as much of an improvement over Destiny 1 as I think it's going to be,
Right.
I can see myself playing a lot of Destiny 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that, honestly.
All right. I think we're going to start wrapping it up. Rob, do you have any ideas for the outro?
I do. It is
Okay.
It's horrible.
Oh, boy.
Awesome.
All right. So for anyone that doesn't know, the way we wrap up every stream is we play a quick game of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Sometimes
for-
not so quick.
Yeah. Like for example, last week I believe it was Cthulhu, Godzilla, and King Kong.
King Kong. Yeah.
Yep.
Not easy choices. This week's worse. All right. So
Well, obviously, you want that King Dong.
That's an easy
You know
choice.
this is not an easy choice.
Oh,
All
boy.
right. Fuck, Marry, Kill. Now pay attention. Your mom trapped in your girlfriend's body.
Oh, my God.
Your girlfriend
Oh,
trapped
what?
in your mom's body.
It's already bad.
Your dad.
So wait, options are your mom in your girlfriend's body, your girlfriend in your mom's body,
Oh, my God.
your dad.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus
Can I
fucking
just be like
Christ, Rob.
can I just be like Rig from our first guest stream and just tap out?
Nope.
Here?
Just no?
Nope.
Bruh.
Oh,
It's in the
come
chat
on,
so it doesn't
man.
get confusing.
This is
Chat,
horrible.
if you want to play along with this one, we need your help. You can type it in the chat too.
My
Don't make us feel
God.
too bad.
I thought the point of us
Um,
doing an old school themed podcast was like we get to talk about our favorite game every week and grow our presence and not we're gonna
And-
turn eventually
and
we're gonna turn
sometimes-
ourselves into pariahs here.
Word.
Those guys are pervs. Can't watch their stream.
Or they laugh and they're like, God, I'm coming back next time.
Maybe.
Lynchman's already in there, man. He's like, gotta fuck my dad. It's happening.
Yeah, he knows what's up, man.
Well, like the only like not gay option is you got to kill your dad, right?
I love my dad though. He's so
I
nice.
I like my dad too, but look, how much do you like your dad? Let's put it that
If
way.
my
Chase.
dad finds out that I killed him so I could fuck my mom in my girlfriend's body, he's going to haunt the shit out of me. Jesus Christ, guys.
better marrying your mom. Fuck. There's no winning. Okay, I know how to solve this. First thing I do is kill myself. Easy.
He's gonna hunt. It's just you lose. Every option is you lose.
There's no winning. This game has no winners.
No.
The only winning move is not to play Chase.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is it.
So we are currently at the Cold War.
Yeah, I think the best option is marry your dad. If you have a good relationship with your dad, like I love my dad. You don't need to have sex to be married. There you go. Marry your
Okay.
dad. I actually
Fair.
can say I would be a much better significant other than my stepmom. I know that for a fucking fact. So yeah, marry my dad. I will make his life better. Instantly. No, I'm not even kidding. My stepmom's the devil. So, yes, marry my dad. As for the other two,
There's no good options there either, right?
no, there's not. Because they're both wrong. They're both fucked
They're
up.
both so wrong. Ugh.
And before she watches, good.
Wow.
No.
I'm gonna send this clip to your dad.
He knows I fucking hate her. She fucking hates me. Like, it's not news. I moved out of
news
their
to
house
me.
to get away from her. It's not news. Doesn't matter.
I'm taking the Cold War approach. I ain't playing.
Can't do that.
Okay, all right, fine. Rob's the one who posed this bullshit. Rob,
Yeah, you
go.
answer,
You go
Rob.
first.
You go
right.
first.
I would kill my dad because I don't like the guy at all. He's already actually dead, so like I'm gonna re-kill him.
Resurrect, then kill.
Yeah.
You got to be on the
Killing
Arceus
Necro,
spellbook for that shit.
Yeah.
See, now this is where it gets difficult because I don't have a girlfriend and both of you do. But I'm gonna play it as
Imagine
if
you
I
had,
did.
uh,
I
your
am
body
imagining.
pillow.
I'm
Your mom and
imagining
your
it
body
very
pillow.
vividly. If I fuck my mom trapped in my girlfriend's body, that'd be weird.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
to
it
say the
would.
least, right?
Because I'd imagine my girlfriend would be smoking hot. So, you know, I can pull that. So like that might be more
I don't know, man. There's
enjoyable
some
for
good-looking pillows
me.
out there, Rob.
I'm just imagining how I would do it. Like I'd probably
Doggy
just like
style. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it involves duct tape and suicide afterwards. I'm pretty sure.
duct tape was what I was thinking.
hmm Maybe a bag. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't do the bag, but I wouldn't want to hear the voice.
Oh,
Like I'd probably duct
Christ.
tape
It
my
would be your
ears,
girlfriend's
too.
voice. It's got her
But it'd
vocal
be my
cords.
mom saying it.
Pathogen
Yeah,
brings up a
but-
good point, Rob. Why would your mom and your girlfriend's body consent?
Well, that's not how the game is played. Consent. Well, assuming there's
This is a very
consent.
rapey
Didn't we
game,
earlier
Rob.
say that games are supposed to be played for enjoyment?
I'm enjoying this.
No.
You have a
This is the
sick
worst.
and twisted sense of enjoyment.
This is the
Rob.
reason we're gonna break the 3-hour mark this week. Come on, dude.
What do you guys think,
He's
chat?
like,
Are you guys
consent
having a
doesn't
good
matter
time
in this
tonight?
game. Jesus. This is like a fucking game of Saw. Consent doesn't matter.
I didn't say it doesn't matter. I just
Not going to the
consent
bar
is
with
implied
Rob.
here. All right. Like,
Gotta keep an eye on this guy, man.
I'm gonna buy you a
Alright.
sweater vest.
kill my dad. I would. God, I don't fucking. All right. Kill my dad. I'd fuck my mom trapped in my girlfriend's body, and I'd marry my girlfriend trapped in my mom's body. Because I'd already be used to her as like someone I
Yeah.
love, and then like twofold, it's the girl of my dreams inside there. It's like it would just like to anyone that doesn't know us, it looked like she's a cougar, and I'm just me.
All right, I've got it. I have what I would do. I would marry my dad, make it so that everything that I own goes to him in my will, and then I would kill myself. And I wouldn't have to deal with the other two really fucked up options.
You gotta
Good
pick.
choices.
That's my choice. We're playing a game, and that's how I'm playing this game.
You're devaluing my answers. You're not allowed to not do what I did. It's not fair.
All right, Moose, calm down.
I worked
Chase-
hard on those answers, Chase.
Chase,
Yeah,
remember the part where we talked about the most fucked up things we've done,
yeah,
like ever, in like games or whatever?
yeah.
This is gonna be one of mine. All right, guys, thank you for watching the stream. It's been a good one. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later.